It's the final home game of the regular season, but this team will be back on Saturday during their playoff series. But for now, it's a tune-up for the playoffs when the Cotuit Kettleers host the Y-D Red Sox. Welcome back to the Kettleers pregame show, everyone. Tim Crowley joined by Chris and Steph Carey. Well, the Kettleers are officially playoff-bound following a Falmouth loss to Wareham last night. It's the Kettleers going back to the playoffs. They'll meet Bourne in the Western Finals with the chance to defend their 2019 CCBL title. But for today, it's the Y-D Red Sox coming to town for the first game of a home-and-home series to end the regular season. Have seen this team already this season, but it was long ago, back in June on a Wednesday night at Red Wilson Field, and it was the bats that really came alive for Cotuit that night.
Well, it was a 16-5 win. Kettleers lost last night against Bourne. Falmouth managed to lose as well, so we clinch. Kets can just kick their legs up and enjoy the game. We're going to see a bunch of different arms figuring out who the guys are going to be in terms of bullpen depth, in terms of pitching, but really this is an inconsequential game, but you want to continue to win and start to peak towards the playoffs.
Final two regular season games today and tomorrow, barring weather. They'll be at Red Wilson Field to close out the regular season tomorrow. But two games against the Red Sox coming up. Let's start with the pitching matchup today. Starting with the Y-D Red Sox, it'll be Zach Jacobs out of UC Riverside.
A teammate of Andre Granillo over at Riverside, 2-1 this season with a 4.98 ERA, 21 2/3 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, and only 6 walks. Just trying to keep it going for YD. They're not making the playoffs, but they still have a lot of pride trying to beat the Kettleers after that 16-5 loss at Red Wilson.
And for Cotuit, we've seen him quite a bit out of the bullpen, had that stretch where he pitched 3 days in a row. Now he gets to start on Tuesday in the gear for the playoffs. It's Hamilton Oliver out of Baylor.
Well, this is another situation where they're trying to find starters that are not named Quinn Matthews, Jake Brooks, or Dalton Rogers. Hamilton Oliver's numbers, 0-1 with a 6.32 ERA over 16 2/3 innings pitched. We have seen him start. He went 1/3 of an inning a few weeks ago, a bad outing. So they're hoping that maybe he can eat a couple of innings and become a potential stretch starter come the postseason.
Home and home series starts today at Lowell Park. The Kettleers trying to sweep the season series from YD. They already hold the 1-0 advantage that we talked about from that game at Red Wilson all the way back in June. That was a 16-5 win for Cotuit. They continue their gear up today in these final two games before meeting Bourne in Game 1 of the Western Finals on Friday night from Doran Park. For our keys to the game tonight, let's send it over to our sideline reporter, Lauren Kirkley. Lauren?
Thanks, Tim. Here are my keys for tonight's game. Number 1, length from Oliver. This is only Hamilton's second start of the summer. We're going to need to see some length from him to give our bullpen a rest. Repeat offensive performance. They're facing the same starter they faced in the first game, and in that game, Cotuit earned 16 runs. They need to keep up that same momentum today. Number 3, tune up. After snapping a 5-game win streak last night, the Kettleers need to find some new momentum heading into the playoffs. You can catch me after the game with Coach Roberts, as always, before Tim takes us home on the post-game show. But for now, let's send it up to the Carries for tonight's broadcast on the Kettleers Digital Network.
It certainly is a wonderful Tuesday afternoon after the Kettleers clinched the second place spot in the CCBL West. Falmouth lost to Wareham, which gave Cotuit the green light to go to the CCBL playoffs in a new format. Hello again, everybody. Chris Carey and Stefan Carey inside the booth for the Cotuit Kettleers digital network. And Stefan feels pretty good right now, realizing the Kettleers have punched their ticket to the playoffs after a season of a lot of doubt and then turning it over to a dynamic offense that will face the Bourne Braves in the first round starting on Friday at Dorn Park.
Well, it feels like we can just take a deep breath and relax. This last stretch of the season has been very difficult figuring out whether the Kettleers were going to make it or not. If you asked me a week and a half ago if I thought this team was going to make the playoffs, my honest answer would have been no. It didn't seem like there was chemistry. It didn't seem like they had developed very much as a team. Now everything's sort of coming full circle. The bats are alive, with the exception of last night, right? A 13-1 victory for Bourne at Dorn Park, but that was to be expected after a 5-game winning streak where the Kettleers were averaging 11 runs per game. They need to find that again going into the playoffs. Now, these next two games inconsequential, but you want to start to continue building momentum before going into the first round of the playoffs against Bourne.
And your 2021 Kettleers will take the field for the last time at Lowell Park in the regular season. Let's read the defense from left to right. Matt Suggs in left field, Jace Grady patrolling center, Noah Bridges in right, Carter Trice at third base, Ryan Ritter and Eric Brown, the shortstop and second base positions, Nathan Martorella at first, Matt Donlin behind the plate, and Hambleton Oliver will get a start on the mound after a very rough last starting where he went a third of an inning.
Yeah, that last start for him, like you mentioned, a third of an inning, gave up 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 hits, 1 walk with no strikeouts. He sort of found a new role in this relief corps, but now they want to test him out as a possible stretch starter arm because really, outside of our starters, Jake Brooks, Quinn Matthews, and Dalton Rogers, nobody's really established themselves as capable of starting in these situations. Oliver has kind of bounced back a little bit in short inning outings, but here he's going to need to eat a couple. But I think you should also expect to see a lot of arms from the bullpen, a lot of guys that have been maybe underutilized so far this season, so they can get comfortable with real game situations heading into the playoffs because, well, like we mentioned, 3 starters, you're going to have games where you need to turn to your bullpen regardless of who's available.
The last time we faced the Yd Red Sox was on June 25th, the 4th game of the season where the Kettleers won 16-5. A win here would be inconsequential, but they're just trying to keep everything going. The well-oiled machine that is the offense staying hot. So let's read the lineup for the Yd Red Sox. Batting first is Wyatt Hoffman, followed by Tanner Smith. Brooks Lee will bat third. Cody Huff will clean up, followed by Chase Luttrell. In the 5 spot, Zach Liu, the third baseman, batting 6th. Cade Hunter at first, batting in the 7th spot. Briley Knight, 8th. And rounding out the order is Crew Robinson. So now we'll get ready for Wyatt Hoffman, the starting second baseman, batting .270 on the year. 33 hits, a home run, and 12 RBIs. This 1-2-3 punch of the Y-D Red Sox all have above 30 hits this season. Wyatt Hoffman, we saw him in the 4th game of the season, was coming off of the bench for Y-D. So now a leadoff man for the Red Sox as he fouls it away on the first pitch offered by Oliver.
His last name should sound familiar, Chris. His father played in the big leagues for years, Trevor. Different position, though. He's a second baseman and has been doing excellent work for Y-D this season. They've had a couple of roster changes, much like every other team, but we really haven't had to worry about them very much. We get to play them the last 2 games of the season. And I'm sure that this team has a bad taste in their mouth after the Kettleers just destroyed them at Red Wilson Field earlier in the season. They want to get even if it doesn't mean anything.
Well, they'll get 2 chances to pull out 1 win or more, either here at Lowell Park or at Red Wilson Field tomorrow as Oliver fires in a strike. At 88, it's 2-2 to Hoffman. But this Y-D team is one of the many Eastern Division opponents that the Kettleers have had to face. The slider goes in and fouled away, and the Kettleers have only really found success against this team, and maybe Chatham, even though Chatham gave it to us the last game we played against them.
Well, yeah, the Kettleers are 3-10 versus Eastern Division opponents coming into this game. For perspective, they're 14-6-1 versus the West. 14-7-1 versus the West. And that's the thing, is they've had a lot more success within their division, which has been important down the stretch, but the East has dominated the Kettleers and pretty much the entire Western Division as a whole.
2-2 fastball off the plate. Didn't get the call behind the plate by Larry Rosenberg, who will man the duties as the home plate umpire. Jason Klump over at first, and Mark Delaney at third base. So the 3-2 from Hamilton Oliver. Popped foul, good at bat here from Hoffman. And that's something that the Kettleers are going to try and assess as they make their playoff start here in 2021. The hope is that they can beat Bourne in 2 wins, finish it off at Lowell Park, and then possibly play as Hoffman lifts one softly into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. The Western opponent of either, or the Eastern opponent, I should say, of either Brewster or Harwich.
Well, the only reason that wasn't extra bases was that Noah Bridges' speed was closing in on that one as it fell inside the line. But it's totally true, Chris. The East has been a very competitive division in terms of their teams. I mean, YD was not really even out of the conversation until just a few games ago. Brewster just clinched their first playoff division berth. I'll say they've won the East for the first time since 2003. Of course, they were the champions of the league in 2017.
So now it's Tanner Smith out of Oregon. Hoffman goes. He goes the other way with the baseball, and that's a base hit. Hit and run would have worked a little bit better if the ball was hit off the bat just a bit harder. Cotuit quickly gets the baseball. There's runners on first and second for YD.
So not the ideal start for Hamilton Oliver and the Kettleers. Like we said, this game is of minimal importance to the Kettleers in terms of its impact on playoff positioning, but it is important because you want to feel confident. You got smoked by the Bourne Braves yesterday, the team that you're going to run into in the first round of the playoffs. You want to start developing a little bit more energy and juice as a team, start to plate some more runs, get better pitching, and I know Hamilton Oliver wants to have a good outing because, well, he wants to get in during the postseason, whether it's as a starter or as a bullpen piece.
With nobody out, he has to face the very hot Brooks Lee, who's batting an eye-popping .420 with 34 hits, 6 home runs, and 13 RBIs. First pitch comes in. It's a changeup low and away, 1-0. And Lee, talking to Peter Flaherty, who is one of our scout liaisons, GM intern, whatever you may call him, a jack of all trades, says this is one of the best guys they see in the CCBL.
Well, he's hitting .420, and he's only been here half the season of pretty much everybody. He played at Team USA, but sometimes you won't give him the benefit of the doubt with that. Here's the eye-popping statistic. It's not the .420. It's that he has 34 hits. Team leader in hits for the Kettleers is Eric Brown. He has 31, and he's been here all season. Brooks Lee has done that in half the time.
2-0 pitch. Slider low and inside, 3-0. Something I'm just seeing on this lineup right now, Stefan. 9 of the 10 starting players, including the pitcher Zach Jacobs, are all from the West Coast. The only player representing the East is Cade Hunter out of Virginia Tech. Is that something that CCBL coaches tried to do, is do the pockets? Our team is fairly well represented in North Carolina. Some Kentucky players as Oliver misses there to load up the bases. Base hit, and a walk starts his outing. Still nobody out for the number 4 hitter, Cody Huff. Just going back to that point, we had Ritter and Rhodes from Kentucky, UNC Wilmington guys. How does that work?
Well, coaches have different relationships with college coaches over the years, right? I mean, sometimes a coach will come from a prestigious school and he will have relationships with the athletic department, or maybe he coaches there during the season, much like Ron Polk over at Wareham. He was the coach at Mississippi State. Now there's a couple of Mississippi State guys that are playing there, but a lot of West Coast guys, a lot of guys from Cal Poly, Pacific, Long Beach State, Cal Fullerton. I mean, those are just a couple of the names that are jumping off the page here. Definitely, these coaches have relationships, and it's also about style. Sort of a West Coast offense might be something that the coaching staff here at YD likes a little bit more than the North Carolina UNC approach that Mike Roberts takes because that's his background. Surfers versus country slashers, if you will.
Certainly so. 1 ball and 1 strike to Huff out of Stanford. So he chops that hanging slider foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Huff this season, 231, 24 hits, 3 home runs, and 14 runs batted in. Oliver just needs to get his first out of the first inning after a pair of hits and a walk. Loaded him up for YD. 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, left center field. Giving chase is Suggs. He will turn and watch it head over the wall. A grand slam for Cody Huff. That's his 4th home run of the season. 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th RBIs for YD.
Well, we said that YD was going to try and respond after that 16 to 5 loss early in the season. Well, this is total evidence of that. Luke Gold hit a grand slam for the Kettleers in that game, so they've already matched that. Now they're out to a 4-0 lead in the top of the first inning with nobody out. I don't think Mike Roberts is going to be keen to go to the bullpen at this point. He knows this game isn't that important. He just wants the Kettleers to get through it, to see a bunch of arms, and YD's going to take full advantage. These guys are pretty much in their second to last and some guys' last games. Already jumped out in front 4-0.
It's just about Cotuit building on the momentum that they've created offensively. Now they're down 4-0 in the first, still nobody out, as Luttrell fouls it away. 1 ball and a strike. At .233 this season, he has 30 hits and 15 RBIs. He's the 5th batter in the order, 4 of 5 that have already come up that have over 30 hits, or 30 hits or more, I should say. As Oliver tries to go with the same spot, doesn't get the call from Larry Rosenberg.
Can you imagine if we had managed to lose that game last night and Falmouth had won, and this is how the next game was started? Because the situation was there for Falmouth. If the Kettleers lost out and Falmouth could manage to win out, Falmouth would go to the playoffs. So far, Kettleers have looked a little deflated the last 2 games.
3-1 from Oliver. Line drive, base hit. That's the 4th given up this inning, and still nobody's out. Coach Roberts is having a discussion with Larry Rosenberg about his strike zone. Now we'll have a discussion with his starting pitcher, who was allowed his 4th hit in this inning without recording it out. Remember his last start, highlighted here, went a 1/3 of an inning against Bourne in that 9-2 loss on June 27th. 3 runs off of 4 hits with 1 walk and 0 strikeouts. He's given up 4 runs off of 4 hits and has yet to record an out yet.
What I'm learning here is Oliver might just not be cut out for starting in the Cape League. He's been so good in relief that you have to give him another shot in the starting role, but he has struggled mightily in this position. Another game where at least 3 runs have come in the first inning in a start for him. I know he's disappointed with that. YD coming out swinging.
Oliver will throw over to first base. But I agree with you, Stefan. When we've seen Hamilton in situations where we have a big lead, or we're trailing by a lot, especially in relief, even in some tight situations, he's been much better. But in this starting role, they're just trying to figure out who is going to be the next man up after Matthews, Brooks, and Rogers. But he has to throw strikes. Now Zach Liu is up out of Cal State Fullerton. 1-0, fouled away. He's batting .160 with 12 hits and 7 RBIs. After the big loss against Bourne yesterday, you have to think that Cotuit's not trying to let out too much as there's a block in the dirt. Throw down to second is in time. Get Chase Luttrell. Great recovery from Matt Donlin to get the first out of the inning.
Well, and that has to feel good. You don't have to worry about another runner on the base paths. Get the first out of the inning, which has been difficult to come by. Now you can just turn focus to Zach Liu and hope maybe get a strikeout from him, and, well, pop-out works too.
Eric Brown still moving on. Noah Bridges will call him off and make the catch for the second out. Back to what I was saying, a big loss against Bourne. Not the hardest start here at Lowell Park to get the final game at home. Do you think that this is Coach Roberts saying, hey, play a relaxed game here. You don't want to overextend yourself heading into the playoffs, or is this just the performance that they're showing right now?
I'm sure it's a little bit of both. I don't know Coach Roberts to be a coach that ever wants his players to take their feet off the gas pedal, but I also know that he doesn't want them to be exhausted. They've been playing pretty much every day and playing really well every single day, so you knew it was going to come back down at some point. What you don't want it to continue to do is go down more once you start the playoffs, because then you don't have a chance against Bourne. You'll end up having games like last night. You want to start developing some confidence.
Another pop-up, Trice in foul ground. Will it stay in play? It just gets over the netting.
That's the point, is if these guys can manage to take 1 out of 2 here, go into the rest day, heck, if we even play tomorrow is up in the air, but take one of these games, go into the rest day, feel good about yourselves, be above 500 or right at 500 going into the playoffs. I like our chances against Bourne and against pretty much anybody, but you have to reestablish yourself as one of the best offensive teams, because, well, come playoff time, 1 run on 5 hits with 2 errors and leaving 7 men on base just isn't going to cut it.
So it's now 2-2 for Hamilton Oliver. The pitch blocked in the dirt by Donlin. Another 3-2 count. You make a good point, Stefan. When this team is playing at a high level, they play very well. But this game might be the last game of the regular season considering the weather tomorrow. So you want to end strong. 3-2 pitch. Popped up again. Donlin moving back. Right by the wall. He'll press up against it and it'll go out of play.
In on the hands. Got him jammed. Once again, fighting off pitches. Oliver just looking to get out of this inning. Fortunately for him, he got that caught stealing with Donlin behind the plate, but just 1 more strike.
3-2, line drive into center field. That is hit number 5 given up in this inning by Hamilton Oliver. And another one on a 3-2 count. It started with Wyatt Hoffman, who did that to lead off. A nice bloop single into right field.
Well, now he has the number 8 man, the bottom of the order coming up. This is where you need to get that out. Good way to start him off right there.
Good changeup on the outside corner. It's 0-1 against the number 8 hitter, Briley Knight, out of Portland. 164 this season with 12 hits and 6 runs batted in. He throws it away. Cade Hunter will take second base. If not more, he'll slam on the brakes there, as Eric Brown quickly gets to the ball in foul territory.
All right, so that's 3 straight games with an error. Excuse me. 4 straight games with an error when you take Wareham's game into account. Those are the things that you have to avoid. Those mental mistakes.
Another pitch, line drive over the glove of Trice. Suggs gets to it quickly. There will be no play at home. 5-0.
Well, Coach Roberts is doing the right thing here. Just let him continue to soak it. Unfortunately, this is part of the game plan. It has to happen.
Runners going. Swing and a miss. Donlin throw down. It is late, in and out of the glove of Ryan Ritter. Throw wouldn't have beat him either. Great jump by Briley Knight. He puts himself in scoring position. Robinson's behind 0-1. Cracked, foul. Could hear that one hard off the bat. He's behind 0-2.
Yeah, I thought it was about to be 7-0 pretty quickly. Fortunately for Oliver, so way early, way out in front of it. Pulled it foul to the right side. Now it's 0-2. This is where you need to get your strikeout because you've already batted your way through the entire order here in the top of the first.
0-2 pitch. Try to go with the changeup. It stays low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wyatt Hoffman waiting on deck. Already gone through the order. 1-2. Light little tapper. Martorella gathers and will step on first to end the inning. 5-0 your score after a grand slam from Cody Huff. Headlined the first. We head to the bottom of the first inning on the Kettleers Digital Network. Bottom of the first inning, YD leads 5-0. After 6 hits came against Hamilton Oliver, it'll start with Jace Grady, the starting center fielder. Defense from left to right for YD, Smith, Knight, Luttrell. Lou at third, Lee at short, Hoffman playing second base, Hunter at first, Huff behind the plate, or Zach Jacobs, late little dribbler to second base. Who's going to cover? Grady on the run. Will he beat it out? He will not. Jacobs got there first. 1 pitch, 1 out for YD.
And what great awareness by Zach Jacobs to hustle over to first base. Hunter tried to cover that ball. It was a little tapper in no man's land between first and second. With Hoffman coming on to make the play, Jacobs hustled. That's good pitcher awareness. That is an excellent play by the man on the mound.
A good changeup to start off Carter Trice. Jacobs out of Pomona, California, and UC Riverside. And his stats are interesting in college. The 0-1.
Well, he's 1-6 with a 5.18 ERA. Gave up 105 hits, 46 earned runs, 16 walks, 61 strikeouts, over 80 innings pitched. So strikeout numbers are okay. Walk numbers are really good, but the hits and earned runs, that's what you want to keep down. Now, on the Cape, not bad stuff. 2-1, 4.98 ERA, 7 games, three of which he started. 23 hits, 6 walks again, 21 strikeouts over 21 2/3 innings pitched. So much better numbers than what he put out in college. But here he just has a lot of room to play with. These guys are out here firing, ready to go.
And there's another strikeout for his CCBL stat total. First of the game, and he gets Carter Trice in the outside corner with a fastball. 2 outs brings up Ryan Ritter. The first thing I noticed with Jacobs is his changeup to the inside against right-handed hitters, as he puts in a beautiful looping curveball for a strike. Ritter batting .322 this season. The 0-1 comes in, ground ball to short. Easy enough play for Lee, throws to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Jacobs as we go to the second. After an inning, Hamilton Oliver's day is done. His final line, an inning pitch, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned with a walk and no strikeouts. Mike Siminiello out of St. James, New York, and Seton Hall will make his Kettleers debut. Gets the top of the order, and Wyatt Hoffman.
Well, and he's going to try and do the thing that Hamilton Oliver just did, is figure out if he could be a potential stretch starter. Next couple of innings should belong to him. His first real outing with the Kettleers, and unfortunately for Oliver, look, he's been a great bullpen piece. I don't think he's a starter moving forward this season. He has struggled when he's had to, get it going early for the Kettleers.
Suggs makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And comparatively speaking, a better start for Siminiello here in the second.
Well, it took him one batter. It took 6 for Hamilton to get the first out in the first. And again, no discredit to Hamilton. The work that he's done in relief out of the bullpen has been phenomenal. But I think it's sort of just coming into this game. And unfortunately, look, this is a no-risk scenario. And I don't know if that was in, the back of his mind or just kind of what he was thinking about. Like, look, it doesn't matter how well I pitch in this game because it doesn't affect our chances. Or the worst option is maybe he was stressed about this situation, which would be really difficult for him if he wants to be a starter going into the playoffs.
That's a third straight breaking ball from Siminiello. 3 balls and no strikes for Tanner Smith, who had a single and later scored that 5-run first inning for Yd. 3-0, way off the plate, and he walks him.
Well, again, another runner on the base paths. He's starting to yank his fastball a little bit to the outside, which happens a lot. You're trying to throw a little bit harder than maybe you're usually used to. But he just needs to fire the ball over the middle of the plate. It's a 5-0 game here. Just show your stuff. I know this team is high octane, especially at the top and middle part of their order. But see if maybe you can get a ball on the ground.
Brooks Lee will bat from the right side now. First pitch to him. That was nice. Looked like a changeup. 0-1. Now, maybe wishful thinking as YD leads 5-0. But last time we played YD, we won 16-5 at Red Wilson Field.
Are you calling 16 unanswered?
You never know with this team. And that looks to have clipped Brooks Lee. 2 runners aboard now. Simoniello went. Don't know what that was. I guess it must have been a slider in, and it was way too far in. 2 runners aboard. Now for Cody Huff, who had that grand slam last time up.
And that happens. I mean, like I said, it looks like he's yanking his pitches. So for a left-handed pitcher, that's going to either go way in on right-handed hitters or way outside for left-handed hitters. And it happens when you try and put a little bit more speed on your pitches. Sometimes you just need to locate. See, he's doing it again. It's a nerve-wracking experience coming into your first almost start in the Cape League. And you want to go and blow the door down for every batter that's coming up to the plate. You just need to throw your pitches, throw your strikes, because what he's trying to throw isn't really how his stuff works. That's much better.
Liner into center field. Grady's there for the second out. If he can draw hard contact, but trust his defense, it's better than yanking your pitches and hitting or walking runners.
Much better. I mean, you don't want to start getting into the habit, and for Simoniello, you don't want him to have a lack of confidence going into the playoffs, because let's say this is a bad outing for him. He'll go into the playoffs with something to prove, and it's difficult to bounce back. This game is just as much mental as it is physical.
There's a nice slider. Forcing a swing and miss from Chase Luttrell. He had a single and was caught stealing in the first inning by Matt Donlin off of a block. It's a late read to second base. So the 0-1 from Simoniello. Fastball, throw behind the runner. Did they get him at second base? Donlin thought so. He headed to the dugout. Delaney was on top of it. Put the safe sign. It still was a called strike.
Oh, I think he had him.
I thought they had him too.
That looked closer than some of the other ones where runners have been called out. I mean, it looked like Matt Donlin had him dead to rights over at second. That has been the best throw that he's made this season, behind the runner.
It won't matter. Simoniello gets his first CCBL strikeout off of a nice slider. It's caught by Donlin. Much better inning for the Kettleers defense. They turn it over to the bottom half on the Kettleers Digital Network. Brown, Bridges, and Roberts due up for the bottom of the second inning, and these are the 3 guys that you want to get things started with. If you're the Kettleers offense, they're down 5-0.
Well, Chris, you said it best. Eric leading the team in hits. Really been swinging a hot bat lately. Of course, the exception last night, pretty much for the entire team. And again, I mean, knowing the gamer that EBJ is, he's going to come up here and try and get that average up, get himself locked in for the playoffs. He's not going to roll over. He's not going to say, hey, you know, this could be an off day for me. He plays the game hard every single day, as do most of the Kettleers on this team, but a lot of players in his position might not have that same approach.
2-0 runs in, 3 balls and no strikes. Possibly a take here from EBJ to put a runner on. Start the Kettleers offense in the second. He does take it. It's a fastball in the inside corner. Now 3-1, green light for number 2. EBJ this season, 272 with 31 hits, 5 home runs, and 20 RBIs. 3-1 too far inside. We have a leadoff base runner.
Well, YD has never seen Eric Brown in the number 2 jersey, and that's the jersey he's had the most success in this season. Of course, he wore number 5.
You're right.
Last time at Red Wilson Field because of a stitching issue. Chris, what did you say he needed when we were on the broadcast?
A seamstress?
Yeah, we broke it down. We taught Chris that it wasn't necessarily a seamstress that he needed. He needed a tailor. I guess a seamstress would work, but...
Now Noah Bridges out in front off of a nice changeup. That's been the pitch that's worked for Jacobs fairly well to start this game.
Well, he sits around 80, 81, leaves it outside, and with that late break, it's pretty good stuff.
0-1 to Bridges will have to wait as Eric Brown slides back in safely. Bridges this season, 267, 12 hits, a home run, and 13 RBIs. Hard to highlight any type of offense yesterday for the Kettleers. Bridges went 0 for 4 with a trio of groundouts. So he tipped one to the glove after showing bunt.
I thought it was a tip too. That is crazy. And it looked like it was in the strike zone. That is an unbelievable call. I think there just was some confusion on that strike call, or ball call, I should say. But
and excuse me, a quartet of groundouts. So Bridges very capable of putting the ball in play. Instead of 0-2, he's at 1-1. I really did think that tipped into the glove. He's shown bunt a lot, and now Blue is picking up on it. The lip of the infield grass over at third base. But Bridges doing a great job getting around the baseball, curling it into corners as Eric Brown plays mind games with Jacobs again, and they'll call a balk there. Eric Brown will take second.
And he didn't step off. That's what it was. He didn't step off quick enough. Jason Klump had the best view of it.
How many balks have we seen over the last 5 or 6 games?
Well, at least 3 or 4, and it's not surprising. Sometimes you take your eye off the ball a little bit. But now Bridges has another chance to drive in the first run of the game for the Kettleers. He's well suited for this situation with Eric Brown taking a big lead.
Bridges showed bunt but pulled back, 1-2. Eric Brown playing mind games on the base paths, getting in the head of the opposing pitcher. Usually we say that with him with the bat. People often forget how good of a base runner he is when he's able to successfully get aboard. Now Bridges at 1-2. Jacobs still eyeing Brown. Pickoff play at second. And he is very concerned with EBJ at second base.
And that's good to see from your starter. You know, he doesn't want to give up any runs given his 5-run lead. He wants to have a perfect slate. Pretty easy job for Bridges. All you have to do is get one to the outfield or maybe put one to the right side, move the runner over.
Fastball in the inside corner, and Bridges is down on strikes for the first out of the second. That is the second strikeout for Jacobs.
Both of which were looking, so he's controlling his pitches very well. He's deceiving these batters, but the guy coming up, he's pretty tough to fool.
And expect him to swing at the first or second pitch that's offered. Big gap between first and second. The reason I say that is Brett Roberts is our best opposite field hitter. from the right side. Now Eric Brown is going to go. Slider away. There will be no play at second base as it's in and out of Huff's glove. Lethal on the base paths. Fly ball to the outfield would score the first run of the game. They're pitching away from Brett Roberts right now, 2-0. Last time we played YD, B-Rob had a home run, along with Luke Gold and Brooks Baldwin. Those three combined for 10 runs batted in. There's a swing and miss at 90, the highest velocity we've seen from Zach Jacobs today. Two-one pitch. Up the middle. That'll easily score Eric Brown. And Brett Roberts is safe. Hunter didn't step on the bag.
Yep, couldn't hold the bag. Now, how's this going to be scored? Is it going to be a hit or an error? My assumption is that it's an error because it's a play that should have been made with relative ease. So the run comes in. We're still waiting for confirmation on what the scoring is. I think they're probably, and it is an error. So Roberts won't get credit for the RBI, unfortunately.
How about that? It would have been a routine 4-3 put out that would have given Brett Roberts his 16th RBI of the season, is instead an error on Hunter at first base, as Nathan Martorella is up with one out. High fly ball into right center field. Luttrell moving back. It is off the top of the wall. Roberts rounding third base. There's going to be a play at the plate. He slides under the tag. Nathan Martorella, a foot short of a home run, drives in the second run of the game for Cotuit.
That ball was laced out to right center field. I mean, just a perfect line drive. I'd love to see the exit velo on that thing because it was probably in the upper 90s. And Martorella's really coming to life with that power, that warning track power. Gets a little bit more underneath it. That ball's in the trees. But Kettleers starting to scratch and claw their way back into this one. Good to see they're not rolling over here in this game.
Hit number 17 for Martorella and RBI number 9 on the season. As Matt Suggs, the left fielder, will stand in for the first time. Very strange inning here in the 6th for the Kettleers offense.
Well, again, no runs are earned yet by Jacobs because of that error.
First pitch to Suggs, popped foul. Suggs this season, 132 with 5 hits, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. Got to talk to him during batting practice. He said he was glad the Bourne game was over. He couldn't see the ball very well due to the visibility at Doran Park. But he sure did see the ball well. In the last game he played at Lowell Park, he had a nice home run. Slider away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Has really come into his own defensively as the left fielder. One to Suggs. Nice curveball there. Gets a called strike.
A late called strike. It's a pretty pitch. Good break. Starts him off high, but almost starts to cut down to the low outside corner. Just got enough of the plate to get a call from Larry Rosenberg behind the plate.
1-2 pitch. Another curveball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Doesn't have 12-6 break. More like a power curve or slurve. It moves away from the batter just as much as it drops. Deceptive pitch from Jacobs. No wonder it's his out pitch, it seems. 2-2. Fastball laced foul. Dugout had to play duck and covered. So it's 5-2. 2 runs have come in to score. As you mentioned before, Zach Jacobs, both are unearned. Two. Fouled away, and he'll see another. This duo from UNC Wilmington and Bridges and Suggs has been very successful since arriving to Cotuit. All three from UNC Wilmington that have put on the pinstripes have done a great job for the Kettleers, starting with Brooks Baldwin. Luckily, we've had two guys who have been able to follow suit. 2-2 in the dirt. Suggs works a full count. If Suggs were to walk, he'd bring up Matt Donlin in the number 9 spot. 3-2, breaking ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Martarella's going to come in to score. It's 5-3, and Matt Suggs gets his 4th RBI for the Kettleers.
And again, the unusual heroes are coming through. Martarella with a huge double off the wall, about a couple inches shy of being a home run, making it a 5-3 ball game when he did it. Now Matt Suggs does just that. Broken bat single up the middle, just got enough of it. And you like to see this bottom of the order start to heat up, because it's going to really help this team out when it comes to playing Bourne or possibly Brewster and Harwich, should they get past the best team in the West and best team in the CCBL in the first round.
That'll be the first earned run for Jacobs as Martarella came in to score. 1 ball and no strikes for Matt Donlin, who's at a .242 clip with 15 hits and 6 RBIs. Donlin really starting to see the ball well at the plate. As he chops that one foul back into Huff and Rosenberg. Still only 1 out for Jacobs. Unless Donlin grounds out into a double play, they would bring up the top of the order with Jace Grady. Keep the inning going at 5-3. 1-1. Donlin chopped over to third. Short hopped in and out of the glove of Lou. There's not going to be a play to first base. 2 are aboard for Jace Grady.
How's this going to be scored? That was a difficult play. Now the top of the order's coming up. There's going to be a conversation with the starting pitcher. I'm curious to see how the official scorer is going to mark this one down.
It's an error.
And again, yet another error, so I'm not going to say Jacobs is getting bailed out statistically, but he is. Now another runner in scoring position, 2 possible runs that won't be earned. Actually 3 if Grady manages to hit a home run here. Second error this inning for YD.
Didn't expect to be saying this, but both teams' top of the orders will go through twice in 2 innings. Jace Grady grounded out to second base off of Hoffman, and then Jacobs covered the bag for a 4-1 putout. Grady, line drive into right field. Suggs rounding third. There will be no play at the plate. It is 5-4. One swing king delivers again. It's a 1-run ball game.
Well, and you said it best, Chris. He is the one swing king. All he needs is 1 pitch. He's a very aggressive hitter. If he gets a pitch over the middle of the plate, it's going to make you pay. He did just that. The Kettleers now added 4 in this inning alone with a chance to not only add another, but possibly take the lead, which is something I didn't think we were going to be saying until maybe way later in this game. Unfortunately, look, we have to talk about this because over the 5-game stretch, the Kettleers had been winning games. Pitching had not been good. The bats had been really good. And this game starting to be another example.
Carter Trice, line drive into left, diving effort from Smith. Tagging up is Donlin. It's a tie ball game. Not going to say my prediction is starting to show itself, but Y-D scored 5 runs in the first. In the second, Cotuit has responded with Ryan Ritter coming up and a runner on first base. Cotuit's 9th batter of the inning will come to the plate. First pitch, tough grounder in the hole at shortstop. Lee picks it up, long throw to first. Ritter beats it out.
So make that 11 games, his hitting streak. Imagine having a 12-game hitting streak going into the playoffs. Now all he has to do is get a hit tomorrow. And, I mean, with the way that Ryan Ritter's been playing, that's not a tough ask.
You still have to face Eric Brown Jr., who walked, had a stolen base and a run scored to start this inning. First run for the Kettleers. First pitch curveball outside.
That's the pitch that didn't work for Jacobs. That big slider curve, whatever you want to call it. He was missing the plate. Eric Brown was content to just take. We know what he can do with 2 runners aboard. He is a big power threat here and could blow this game open right now.
Very big power threat indeed. And we know what he's been able to do to follow up when Ryan Ritter has put himself on the base paths. 1-0. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. So it started as a 5-0 second inning. Cotuit has tied it up. Only on 4 hits, however. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball stays up. And is it a 3-0 take here, Steph?
Certainly is. I mean, why would you swing for the fences here on 3-0 when you could load up the base of the pitcher that's really struggling to find the strike zone and is obviously pretty rattled, doesn't want to throw a fastball to Eric Brown. In particular, he's thrown fastballs to Ryan Ritter. He threw one to Jace Grady. Doesn't want to throw it to Brown. The reason for that is he knows the maximum damage that can be done if he puts one over the middle of the plate.
3-0, he did take it, and it was a strike at 89.
So he went with the fastball there, which was the pitch that was going to work. Now, it's up to him. Is he going to gamble by throwing another fastball down the middle of the plate when Eric Brown more than likely has the green light sign on?
And another take with another strike called by Larry Rosenberg. The count is full at 3-2.
That's a good location. He used the outside corner, trying to play a little bit of keep away with Eric Brown. Now anything close, Eric has to fight off, so he kind of opens up what pitches he can throw. Just make it look close.
3-2 from Jacobs. Head start, it won't matter. Another walk loads it up for Noah Bridges. Not too many times you get to say this, Stefan. That's Eric Brown's second walk of this inning.
Well, that's certainly not a good thing for Jacobs. They just look like they're willing to throw whoever. Just let him continue to go. Same situation with Oliver. Let him get out of his mess. Noah Bridges, not the guy you want to see in this situation.
Tried to go with a backdoor slider there. Missed well away. 1 ball and no strikes. Bridges One of 2 strikeout victims to Jacobs. He struck out looking his last time up. But at 1-0 is in control with 2 outs in the second. Score 5-5. Pitch misses again, this time a changeup.
Right now, the baseball is just allergic to the strike zone. I mean, he is trying to throw change-ups. He's leaving him too far outside, and with that outside break to the left-handed hitter, you're giving Noah Bridges all the power here.
2-0. Bridges lifts it high in foul ground. Hunter getting called off by Hoffman, who makes the catch. Straining 3 on the base paths. 5-5 your score as we head to the third on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Well, we're an hour into the game, and there's only 2 innings that have been completed. Stephen Carey, Chris Carey from inside the booth on the Kettleers Digital Network. And Chris, this brings up a very interesting conversation with games being moved back to 4 o'clock in the playoffs to save for light and to account for possible extra innings. What happens if a game like this starts to break out? Because there are no postponements, there are no makeup days. It is back-to-back, pedal to the metal, get through the postseason here in the CCBL.
There's not much of an answer to have. I feel like the final date that can be played is August 11th, which would be the final possible championship game.
Bouncing ball up the middle, Eric Brown ranging to his right. He'll flip to Ritter. He'll throw across to first in time. Oh my goodness. The defensive awareness. What wizardry between the middle infielders. And it's only them 2. I can't think of another duo in the entire CCBL that would think to pull that off.
I have a loss for words at this point. A 4-6-3 put out between Ritter and Eric Brown. It just gets better and better every single game we watch them play. You're talking about a player here in Eric Brown that plays shortstop at Coastal Carolina, one of the best shortstop in the country. He's playing over with Ryan Ritter, and they just are so box office defensively and do it again. But just to go back to your point, I don't know how they would be able to do that at Lowell Park. I mean, they're starting earlier to make sure things like that don't happen if the game gets dark, but if the game does get called, it just will be whoever has the lead. And hopefully it's the Kettleers having a commanding lead to the point where it's not to the chagrin of the opposition.
Lined into the gap in left center field. Jace Grady giving chase. It's going to get to the wall. Cade Hunter will take a big turn around second, but will put on the brakes about halfway towards the third base bag. So a 1-out double here in the top of the third inning, and once again, YD is attacking. Good guy move by Nathan Martorella. Takes the batting gloves, flips it over to the first base coach for Cade Hunter. That's the first hit allowed by Simoniello. It's a good piece of hitting off the bat to the opposite field. Thought Jace Grady might have had a play on it as a big slider misses low and outside, 1-0.
I would say not luckily for Cotuit, though, with the darkness. They have the disadvantage. They will only play
one game in the 3-game set against Bourne, which would be Saturday. Hopefully they can close it out in the second game with a win at Doran Park on Friday. You don't really have to worry about it as much, but that is always a factor to consider, Stefan.
Now it's a 2-0 to Briley Knight. He had an RBI single and a stolen base his last time up. Drove in Cade Hunter. So gets a strike call back. Simoniello has done good work so far after Oliver had a pretty tough outing. He went 1 inning, gave up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. Simoniello brushes him off the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike. Kettleers did a good job. Good response in the second. Added 5 runs, tied the game. Now Y-D, yet another chance to plate some runners across. A game that really doesn't mean much in terms of X's and O's. And he walked him. Second walk of the afternoon for Simoniello, and 2 runners aboard with only 1 out for the Red Sox. With the bottom of the order, Crew Robinson coming up.
I don't want to say you take that walk there, but it wasn't a bad spot. Just missed it by a few inches. Coach Roberts doesn't like pitchers walking players. I don't think any manager does, but Coach Roberts really doesn't have a tolerance for it. If Simoniello cannot find the zone where he needs it to be, maybe a shorter outing for him than we expected. The ground ball here gets him out of it. We can see a 4-6-3 or a 6-4-3 double play after that 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 putout, I should say, to start this inning.
Pretty fastball there, gets the outside corner and the call. It's 1-1 for Simoniello. The Kettleers pretty much can do what they want with the bullpen. They have an off day on Thursday to use. They may have 2 off days if the weather continues to look how it is for tomorrow against Y-D. As there's the prettiest slider I've seen from him today. Broke like a curveball, but had big downward and across action.
Maybe a slurve.
That is a great pitch. Chance to record his second strikeout. Good location. Crew Robinson didn't want any piece of it.
Simoniello hides the ball very well from that arm angle that he throws from. They're not seeing it until it's almost right before the release point, if you watch closely.
2-2. Got him. Matt Donlin threw behind the runner. Ryan Ritter got down to his knees to block it. That was a very aggressive play by Donlin. Almost hit Simoniello, but he picks up his second strikeout of the evening. Comes at a good time. Gets you the second out of the inning. Don't have to worry as much about the runners on first and second, and you just turn focus to the top of the order with Wyatt Hoffman, who does have a single and a run scored in this game. His 3rd consecutive inning getting to come up to the plate. That pitch runs inside but is blocked by Donlin, and that is an indicator of a bad start for a team in terms of pitching. He's hit in the first, hit in the second, and will now get a plate appearance in the third unless Donlin manages to catch one of these guys sleeping on the base paths and throws him out. 1-0. Way inside to Hoffman. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So a little bit about the playoff picture. Brewster clinched the Eastern Division for the first time since 2003. Harwich in the 2nd spot. They played the Kettleers in the 2019 championship, where, of course, the Kettleers won. So now it's quickly 3-0 to Hoffman. And then the West, Bourne, the first team in the CCBL to clinch, by far the most dominant team in the regular season, will face the Kettleers, who clinched last night after Falmouth lost to Wareham at Spillane Field by a score of 7-4. 3-0. Delayed strike call. Hoffman was on his way to first. He's threw his bat. Looked a little outside. Simoniello got one back.
Hoffman was not happy with that call. It was up and away. I'm wondering if maybe Larry Rosenberg took exception to him heading over to first early.
3-1. High and outside. There's the walk. Bases are now loaded for Simoniello. That's the 3rd walk of his outing. Those are the numbers that you have to keep down in games like this.
And keep in mind for the playoffs, for who's going to come out of the pen in situations Now at a tie ball game, you can consider it 0-0. It's almost like a starting performance for Simoniello.
Tanner Smith now up. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk in the second. Big slider misses outside, 1-0.
And when he's been able to command his breaking balls, it's been very hard to hit off of him.
Mike Roberts is going to have a visit. He's checking the bullpen. Doesn't seem to be too much activity, and why would there be? It's only the third inning. You've already gone to the bullpen once in a game that is inconsequential in terms of wins and losses, just for morale and momentum. Just wants to test him. If he can get himself out of this inning, that says a whole lot more than if he can get himself into it. Because any pitcher can walk guys and give up hits and load up the bases. But now when you're in a jam, you find out what he's really made of in his first appearance in the Cape League. So there's going to be some jitters. There's going to be some differences on how to approach this scenario. But Mike Roberts is going in to give him a little bit more confidence. And he knows, hey, bats are hot. If we can keep them off the scoreboard, we might be able to win this game.
I just like the hustle off the mound. I wonder what his 40 time is.
Well, I was asking yesterday, Will Gale looked as quick as a lightning bolt.
Tim Crowley says 4.6 40. I think he's faster.
1-0, pretty pitch right down the middle. Gets a called strike. It's 1-1. Well, Will Gale, I asked him his 60 time. Of course, that's the official judge of a player's speed in baseball, and he said it was a 6.3 when he did it in high school. Seems to have gotten faster since then.
What is the speed god's name in Flash? Savitar?
I haven't watched the show in a while.
I think that's what I would call him.
No, we need a new nickname for him.
Something involving a gale wind. Gale force wind moves pretty fast.
1-2, Simoniello off the end of the bat. Suggs will track and make the catch. Mike Simoniello gets out of it. No runs come across for the Y-D Red Sox. We'll go to the bottom of the third on the Kettleers Digital Network. Bottom of the third inning, 5-5 your score. Brett Roberts up again, and he'll sky one out to right field. Luttrell will make the catch for the first out of the inning. Different start to this inning than the last when the Kettleers managed to bring across 5 runs.
Well, you know, we can't just start hot every inning. It's a process, you know.
First pitch to Nathan Martorella misses low and away, 1-0. He gave a ball a ride out to right center field. It just hit off the top of the wall right on the yellow. A little bit more carry would have picked up his second home run of the season. So that one runs inside, and he just gets out of the way.
Did it go inside of him or behind him?
Well, you know what the 5 rules of dodgeball are, Chris?
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, right?
Absolutely right. Nathan Martorella pulled that one off. It's 1-0. Lines it right back towards us.
What's the rule? If you can dodge a wrench, you can
dodge
a
a
baseball.
ball, yeah.
Dodge a
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a baseball. Hopefully that isn't copyright infringement given the movie, but
Don't try it at home, kids.
do not try it at home. Martorella takes a shot at the left side, but he fouls it away again. He's making good contact. Want to see him continue this. Batting average cooled down a little bit over the last couple of games. Entering today was at 239. I have to think he's above 240 today. Hunger for more. Little bouncing ball towards Lee. He made an awkward play. The throw just in time at first. Martorella is retired for the first time this evening.
Nice play there by Brooks Lee. Charging the ball, going across, sidearm throw to first. Martorella looked like he might have pulled up there. I don't think that he got to the bag as smoothly as he thought he would. But making good contact, both sides of the field, right center, and now I guess you consider that the left side of the infield, left center.
First pitch runs in on Matt Suggs. Think it hit him on the forearm, and he'll trot on over to first.
Might have been a double whammy. Huff threw off his glove immediately after it ricocheted off of Suggs. Might have hit that left hand.
We've already seen a couple of hit-by pitches in this game. One in the second, now one here in the third for the Kettleers. Now Donlan's up. He reached on an error by the third baseman his last time at the plate. Now he has Suggs at first. Donlan swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Folks, this game, though not much consequence involved, we'll have a lot of different people coming in. We'll have Peter Flaherty coming in at some point. Maybe a couple of other interesting events in this booth, so stay tuned. We'll try and keep it light and exciting in this game.
A lot of fun coming up, so stay tuned.
0-1 to Donlan. He rips at it and fouls it back again. It's 0-2 for 21. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Donlan looking to keep this inning alive. And it will be alive for another pitch as that one misses way low and outside, 1-2. Cannot wait to see the electric atmosphere that is Lowell Park during the postseason. 2,021 people came during opening day. I have to think the number for that Saturday home game in the playoffs will be much, much higher.
I believe so as well, especially considering what the outcome might be on Friday. The Kettleers are able to win in a closeout situation. This place is going to be nuts.
Well, it's nuts here on a Tuesday. Home side stands are absolutely packed. As always, there are lawn chairs everywhere. There's going to be no walking room here, so make sure you're in attendance. The Kettleers make a push for their 18th title in the CCBL. 1-2, line drive over the head of the third baseman. Suggs is going to round second. That's going to get into the corner. They're going to hold him up at third, though. Matt Donlan swinging a hot stick. That's his 16th hit of the season. He reaches base for the second time, kept the inning alive for Jace Grady, who already has an RBI today.
Matt Donlan, we talk about pure pull hitters with Luke Gold and Eric Brown, who's started to go the other way with the ball. He is as pure pull as it gets. We've seen that so many times. Line drives over the third baseman's glove, hard contact. This guy is getting hot at the perfect time, both behind the plate with the bat. Seeing everything well, especially in on the hands, being able to turn on it with such strength.
First pitch to Grady, he didn't swing at it. That was a good thing. It missed low and outside. Grady's RBI in the second. He did swing on the first pitch. Grady fouls it back
on a line drive. As Matt Powell said yesterday, if that one went forward, it would have been a good thing.
How good was he yesterday? Him and Peter. What a riot.
May hear from them again if this game starts to get out of hand, or if we just need a break. It's been a long season, folks. 1-1. Grady swings and misses on a slider down in the zone.
Well, he's not the one-swing king in this at-bat. He's the multi-swing, I don't even know what, but he still could possibly deliver here with 2 runners in scoring position. At 5-5, the Kettleers have really found a way to come back late in the season against teams.
1-2 pitch to Grady. He fans on it. There's going to be a throw over to first. The strikeout is completed. The Kettleers strand 2, but can't add another. Your score 5-5. We'll go to the 4th on the Kettleers Digital Network. Your score is still 5-5. Brooks Lee coming up to the plate. And he has been as advertised both defensively and offensively. He's reached base twice, but hasn't got the chance to swing the bat. He walked and was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Hopefully he does not make solid contact here in the 4th. Open this game up for YD. Check swing, pitch bounced in the dirt off the shoulder pad. Donlin, it's 1-0. Kettleers have left 5 men stranded. YD beat them through 3 with 6. There's a little nub shot fouled towards the YD dugout on the right side, making it 1-1. One pitch. Lee swung out of his shoes, couldn't get a piece. YD has a couple of representatives. The point streak lists for the league leaders in different statistics. Jacob Meter is 7th in the league in strikeouts with 34. Tanner Smith is 6th in runs batted in with 23. This guy would be well into the conversation if he had enough at bats. He already has one of the highest hit totals of these two teams. Simoniello leaves one outside. He's worked the count full to 3-2.
And it's no surprise that he's either pitching in or away from him, not leaving anything over the middle, because Lee so able to get that bat around the baseball.
Outside corner called strike 3. Lee did not agree.
That's a really good pitch from Simoniello. The first really good fastball that we've seen, tailing away to the outside corner. That's a 50-50 call behind the plate by Larry Rosenberg. This time it went the Kettleers' way.
third strikeout of the evening. First pitch to Cody Huff is outside, making it 1-0. Huff had a grand slam in the first inning. That, of course, was against Hamilton Oliver. He cracks one out to right field, but in foul ground. Huff, another example, like you said, of these California products. He's out of Stanford. A lot of pitchers on this team, and a lot of players on this team go to schools in the California Republic.
It is like a republic out there.
2-1 line drive into right field. Beats the shift. Takes a big turnaround first. Saw Noah Bridges was lazily coming onto it, but I wouldn't test the arm of number 20. It's the second hit allowed by Simoniello. Oh, 1 up the middle. Eric Brown dives, but it's underneath the glove. Back-to-back base hits. Once again, it looks like Simoniello is going to find himself in a jam if Mike Roberts doesn't go to the bullpen here.
And Simoniello has been fairly comfortable. I haven't seen a point to the bullpen yet. Has he gone? I'm not sure.
He is done. That is the end of the day for Simoniello. We'll be back with all the information on the new pitcher after this. Well, a new pitcher aboard for the Kettleers. It's Trevor Kunkel, who's one of the most trusted arms this season. And I thought we were going to see mostly guys that haven't had a lot of tests, but Trevor Kunkel has been one of the best recent additions to this team. And here he has 2 runners aboard with only 1 out. Zach Liu at the plate. So Kunkel will work from the stretch. First pitch from him. Downstairs 1-0. Simoniello's day is done. Went 2 1/3 innings of work. Gave up 3 hits, no runs. Don't know how many earned because the 2 runners aboard with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. So pretty good stuff for his Cape League debut. Slider misses outside, 2-0.
The last thing you want Kunkel to do is walk runners, or batters, I should say, put them on to become runners, especially in a situation with 2 on. You don't want to load up the bases, especially in a tie ball game. I know this game's inconsequential, but a win would continue it going for the Kettleers here.
2-0. Make it 2-1. Fastball that gets the call. I thought that pitch was low in the zone. Delayed call by Larry Rosenberg. Glad I held up my analysis, but now a little bit more comfortable is the situation for Trevor. Just needs to keep firing in strikes. There's a bouncing ball. Carter Trice, beautiful play. He applies the tag. What an effort by Carter Trice at the hot corner.
Wow. Unbelievable. 2 web gems already in this game. We're not even through the 4th inning. Diving effort from Trice, gets up quickly to apply the tag to Cody Huff, who maneuvered his way to almost get out of the tag. And that's what we wanted to see from Trice after a day off yesterday at the hot corner.
Well, word on the street is that Carter Trice stayed after practice and took hundreds and hundreds of ground balls over at third base. He is as displeased as anybody else has been with his defensive performance in a position that he hasn't really played before. So for him to make that play says a lot about the improvements that he's making, the effort that he is putting in to try and be the everyday third baseman. As here's a high drive out to right field. Noah Bridges will make the catch. No runs come across to score for the Red Sox. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Zach Jacobs is back out for his 4th inning of work. They look content just to keep him out on the mound, to use as many innings as he can. That tells me that a lot of their pitchers in their relief have maybe hit their innings limits, and they've liked the adjustments that he has made over the last inning or so. Carter Trice back up. Line shot down the line. Good if it's fair. It is. He's going to round first base, and he will stand up at second with a leadoff double.
So from the top half of this inning, a beautiful diving effort for the second out of the inning. Now a double down the line. He needed just that after the sacrifice fly in the second. Swinging the bat very well is number 8, and you bring up Ryan Ritter, who's going to try and break this open, make it 6-5, if not more.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see Ritter try and lay one down here. Get back to your roots as a small ball team. With the way Ritter's swinging the bat, wouldn't be surprised if they let him loose. No bunt shown. That one's blocked. Keeps Trice going too far off the second base bag. 1-0 to Ritter. Last time up, he had an infield hit. Extended his hitting streak to 11 games.
That number is just incredible.
Plenty of room to work with on the right side should he be able to shorten up, poke one out into right field, but he has been a pure pull hitter over his hot streak. 1-0. Left it over the middle. He went for it. Just didn't get anything. 1-1.
He was really late on the swing. That's why. The bat to the ball was there. Just waited too long, and the break got him.
One. High breaking ball. Gets the call. It's 1-2 to Ritter. Now he has to defend the plate. One, two to Ritter. Just fouls it away to the right side. Folks, be sure to stay tuned for the 5th inning. It's going to be something interesting for you.
The 5th inning plus.
5th inning plus.
5th inning plus, really, is what we should call it.
Just like the Kettleers are having fun out there, we like to have fun in here, and we're going to do something a little bit different. A little bit nostalgic, if you will. That's all I'm going to say. And we may have a special guest coming in the booth. 1-2 pitch, hits Ritter.
Ooh.
He's not happy about that one. That hit him in a tough spot. That ball bounced up in the air. Had some hang time. Hit him up near the collarbone on his left shoulder. He reaches base again. Eric Brown is up to the plate. Once again, Ryan Ritter has 2 runners aboard, this time with nobody out. There's a throw behind the runner at second. Trice slides back in safely. EBJ has had his chances today. He's been walked twice. His only 2 plate appearances, both came in the 2nd inning. First pitch. Good curveball, gets the inside corner.
Nice pitch.
Oh, 1 downstairs. Almost got away from Huff behind the plate. Did a good job of finding it. EBJ, the team leader in hits, but Ryan Ritter's coming for that title. Only 2 off the lead right now. Eric with 31, Ryan with 29. Both runners looking like they might go. As here's the pitch to Eric. Gets out in front. It's 1-2. I feel like I've developed a good enough relationship with Eric to call him by his first name.
Are you asking me if you have? I feel like that's more of a him thing.
Well, it seems like a professional courtesy to call him Brown or Brown Jr. But Eric, I think we've talked to him a lot this season.
Yeah, I would say so as well, yes.
1-2. High pop up out to left field. Doesn't look like it'll be enough to move Trice over. He will fake the go, and that's a good thing that it was just a fake because the throw into third was a pretty one.
Guess if you say that, you say Noah now. Talk to Noah extensively, or Bridges extensively. Whichever one you want to use. He's very friendly, comes up to us all the time, gives us a fist bump. It's always nice when the players recognize what we do just as much as we do with them because they are truly special people and athletes, and what they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. So it's always nice to talk to these guys on a personal level.
First pitch to Bridges. That's what we call a totally tricky pitch. I mean, it was very difficult for Bridges to say. Yeah.
Yeah?
I was going to say it was a sword, but it wasn't a strikeout. So
You're like the Michael Scott in The Office where he says, you know, sometimes I start sentences and I just hope that I can figure it out by the end.
I just don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just happens. Roads usually take you where you're going. But you know what else takes you where you're going sometimes?
Bridges.
Bridges.
Yep.
Bridges take you where you're going. Infrastructure, as my grandpa would say as we were driving up across the country from Florida. Very excited about all the developments on the highways. Pretty easy to please. Throw in some Frank Sinatra. Now let's turn focus to Bridges. Pitch off the plate, 1-2.
Highway driving. I was about to put in a pun and say I hope he could bridge the gap, but there's no gap. It's a tie ball game.
One, two. Bridges just gets a piece, fouls it back. Last 2 games, not been Bridges' best. Had a big 2-run double against Falmouth as part of that huge 7-run third inning. Since then, he's been silent. I'd like to change that right here. A base hit would more than likely score Trice from second. As there's a throw behind the runner. Doesn't seem to be any concern about stepping off for Jacobs, who does have a balk this game. But this has got to be one of the longest games of the season. Already an hour and 35 minutes in, and we're not even through 4 innings. One, two, Bridges, line, drive. That's going to be a tough play for Hoffman. There's a play at second, but Bridges legs it out at first.
That's a really good play by Hoffman to short. Somehow able to gather it, throw it underhanded with the side of his hand to short. Brooksley, a hard strike over to first, but Bridges able to beat it out.
So now Brett Roberts will have another chance. He's timed up a couple of pitches. Just hasn't been rewarded with anything in this game. Does have 15 runs batted in this season. So 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the second inning. A couple of guys can say that. YD has 2 this game. First pitch, beautifully placed in for a called strike, 0-1. Roberts moving up in the box a little bit because I think the breaking ball is what Jacobs has featured the most this game. There's a check swing. He did go around, says Jason Klump over at first. I think that's a gimme call, maybe trying to move this game along, because didn't look to me like Brett Roberts really offered at that pitch. But again,
Yeah.
our vantage point's a little bit different here.
Yeah. That was something. Yeah.
Oh, 2. Bridges is going. Nobody's covering. The run is going to come across to score. We talked about ABC baseball. Well, that is it in its purest form.
That's what they teach you in Little League, is take second base. Bit on the play. No one was covering. Hoffman had to get to the ball, and at that point he couldn't make a throw to home. Carter Trice comes in to score the leading run of the game. It's 6-5.
Third earned run of the game coming in for Jacobs. Needs 1 strike to get out of this inning, but the Kettleers have the lead. Bridges is going again. It's up the middle. Bridges is going to round third and score easily. Beautiful hit and run.
What is that song? Is it the Jackson 5 ABC? That's what we're playing right now in our heads.
Well, there's have a hit, and then there's have a hit and run, and that's what Brett Roberts did right there.
We're teaching YD the ABCs right now, so that's good. 7-5. Brett Roberts once again manufacturing another run, his 16th RBI of the season. Probably should have gotten it in the second after that E3 scoring, but
here in the fourth, does it again. It's 7-5. They're going to go to the bullpen.
Once again, we'll be back once we have a little bit more information on the man coming in relief. Eric Yost now in to pitch. Goes to Northeastern University. All he has to do is get one out, but he has to face Nathan Martorella, who has seen the ball pretty well today.
Yeah, this season 0-1, 6.94 ERA, 7 games, 2 started, 11 and 2/3 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 16 hits.
Martorella bounces one right at the first baseman. Doesn't have to do too much. He's frustrated with himself. We'll go to a very interesting 5th inning on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Today marks the final home game of the regular season and offers the chance to provide proper recognition to one of the most important people to ever come through Lowell Park. From ordinary fan to field worker to GM intern, Peter Flaherty Jr. devoted his life to the Cotuit Kettleers from an early age. Now in his final run as an intern, the time has come to show appreciation for the incredible work during Peter's tenure.
What's up, Pete? I just want to congratulate you on your time with the Kettleers and wish you a happy 23rd birthday. I'm so proud of you and so excited to see what your future holds.
Peter Flaherty Jr. has just been an important part of the Cotuit Kettleers, really since he was born, but especially working as an intern liaison with our Major League Baseball scouts and doing a lot of scouting for putting our team together the last 4 years. So we're so appreciative of everything Peter has done. He's behind the scenes. He's very professional. He has a great feel for the game. And there's no doubt that a lot of the work that Peter put in 2019 helped the Kettleers win the championship season. And again, in 2021, after missing the 20 season, a lot of the players that are here right now competing at the end of the season are because of Peter's work. We're so grateful for everything you've done, Peter. We love you, your family, and God bless.
Peter, congratulations on you finishing your time here with the Cotuit Kettleers. Just thank you for everything you've done for this organization, everything you've done for me as well. I mean, I owe pretty much everything I have in this game to you and you taking a chance on me and you just talking to me back when I was just nobody and just gave you a random cold call out of nowhere. So it means more than you know, man. And I mean, well deserved on the job with the Yankees. You're going to absolutely kill it there. I know they're very lucky to have. And even though I'm a Red Sox fan, I'll be rooting for your Northeast guys. That's for sure. So I appreciate you everything you've done for this organization, and if I can be half the man or half the scout that you are, I consider it a success. So thank you for everything, man, and God bless.
Peter, I just want to say congratulations. Congrats on graduating. Congrats on your time with the Kettleers as a very valuable member of this organization. You've done so much for the community, for the ballpark, for the team, for everyone, and you've done so much for me. I appreciate you bringing me into the organization, for believing in me, and everything you've taught me up to this point. Look forward to staying in touch, and best of luck with everything going forward.
Hey Peter, just want to say congratulations. Your dedication and hard work and everything goes a long way, and it's noticed by everyone, man. Wish you the best of luck from my family to yours, and you know, what a sweet blessing you were in my life when I was down there in Cotuit, and you know, your hard work and dedication doesn't go unnoticed, man. I really appreciate what you did for me, and appreciate the smile you brought to everyone's face down in Cotuit. So congratulations, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
A wonderful tribute for a wonderful guy, Peter Flaherty, who's done so much for this team, this organization as a whole. Two are quickly down as Logan Maitland is in relief. That pitch runs inside to Wyatt Hoffman, who's up for the fourth time this game. Ground out to first, and then a fly out by Crew Robinson with two quick outs in the fifth. We're going to have to wait till the bottom half to get into the fun, but Peter Flaherty, wonderful work that he's done for the Kettleers. 23 years old, and so much that has offered this organization he's brought to us. He's put this team together, another playoff team. The resume is already stacked high as Maitland fires in a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the fun is still yet to come. So we'll start in the bottom of the fifth, and then for the foreseeable future, we will carry it on.
Just hang tight, folks, because Peter's joining us in this adventure.
Hoffman gets clipped. He's reached base for the third time. The inning is extended for Tanner Smith, who has a single, a run scored, and a walk. Plenty of nice messages from Will Thompson, Coach Roberts, Owen Surratt, Nick Gonzalez, former Kettleers player, now tearing it up in the minor leagues. We'll see him in the majors at some point with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Letting Peter know how much he means to them and how much he's done for them. You'll be hearing his name for decades to come as, in my opinion, the most set position as a general manager in the major leagues in the future. Here's a strike. 0-1.
Just a blessing to get to learn from him and hear about his just process, how much he loves Cotuit, how much he has opened and accepted all of us after not really knowing much about us except for a couple of months. Just a very good representative of what this team, what this community, what this league is all about. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Peter Flaherty, for all that you do.
And congratulations. Now it's 1-1. But like most things, on to bigger and better horizons. Kettleers will always be in his heart. He'll be around here still, coming to games, doing all those things, possibly on the other side as a scout, looking at the players that he's recruited over the years now. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think they'll still let him sit in the dugout when he's scouting.
Well, I don't care who's calling games. The press box is always open. I'd nip that in the bud if anything like that happens. 1-2 pitch. High fly ball into left center. Grady covering and making the catch for the third out. So the fun begins in the bottom of the fifth. It's 7-5. Be sure to stay tuned. Up next.
Folks, you may be wondering why a moving picture box is not in color. Well, the real answer is it's 1947 when the Cotuit Kettleers Baseball Club was founded in the modern era. Still en route for their first CCBL championship against the Yarmouth Yd Red Stockings. Hi, I'm Stephen Carey, joined by my brother Harry Christopher Carabina IV and Peter Flaherty coming in here.
We're stepping in for a big biper, Matt Suggs. He's a big old boy from down in the Carolinas by way of Wilmington, UNC.
Well, you know what they say. They shouldn't call him Matt Suggs. They should call him Matt Slugs because he swings a good bat.
He's a slugger. Matthew Suggs is a slugger. He's built like a he's a good-looking ball player. He came up on the speed rail, the monorail.
Oh, he got in on the hands, handcuffed him, no jail time.
That's a wiper over to first.
Threw it across.
Gets him out.
Absolutely, that was pretty. No jail time on those handcuffs, and he'll trot back to the dugout. Unfortunately, he was in the doghouse. That's a 5-3 put-out.
And folks, 1947, the Roswell UFO incident was just 4 weeks ago today. If you see any unidentified flying objects, please call the authorities. As Matt Meaty Donlin, stands into the bikes, takes an old spinaroo down for a ball.
I don't understand why so many teams have abandoned the pinstripes. That is a good classic look for a ball player.
That's something you can set your watch to. The pinstripes and the haircuts and the clean shaves, you can set your watch to it as the Cotuit Kettleers used formerly the Cotuit Baseball Club, the men's club, as the 2-0 is delivered for a borderline call. Strike 3. That's good old friend Sparky Burns down there.
Come on, get it together, Larry.
Larry Rosenberg. And there's a swing and a miss by Matt Donlin. And might I say, this is quite the trio to have in the booth. Add one more, it'd feel like my barbershop quartet. The tone runs. 2-2 pitch to Donlin. Oh, he hits one up the middle. This is going to be a difficult play. Oh, my goodness. He had a can of Crisco on his glove. It gets out to center field.
And that was just a nice hit by Donlin. He was galloping like a gazelle over to first base.
Horsepower to the max. Although the cars that we have in this era only have 1 or 2 horsepower.
The Model T.
He was running faster than the Model T.
He was running faster than the Model T on Main Street, down by the local watering hole, the Kettle Ho.
Now,
Restaurant in Taverna. Here's another old Southern boy, little cowboy, Jace Grady. He came up on the speed train. He said he overnighted it. Hitchhiked with nothing in his hands but a little sack and a few nickels. And here he is playing ball.
Talk about a few nickels. I tried to go over to the concession stand and buy me a hot dog.
Oh, a hot dog will cost you about 100 nickels at Lowell Park as that ball is in the dirt.
You know the number that they said to me? $4.
$4?
You know how much I could have gotten with that?
$4, I could have signed Babe Ruth.
A nice house. I could have gotten a house there.
I could have gotten a house right on Main Street overlooking Loop Beach.
I haven't felt my pockets that empty since the Depression.
As the 2-0 catches the outside corner. It's 2-1 to Grady.
And Jace Grady, rumor has it, he is related to Wyatt Earp. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But he plays baseball like a bandit. He'll steal bags quicker than anyone.
He's a little speedster, that Grady.
And he's from the Lone Star State. Nickname we gave him before, the One-Swing King. The Monarch of Men.
Speaking of monarchs, there's a monarch on deck from Old Dominion.
Oh, he works for the freight company?
Not the freight company, just the university.
Oh, the university in Virginia. Beautiful things. 3-1 count to Grady.
I never went to college.
You have Matt Donlin standing a few paces off first. He's not a run threat. Jace Grady, if he can shorten up and get another base hit, might be able to move Matt Donlin face to third. And Grady.
Oh, Grady with a smackaroo in the center field.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, guys, that's back-to-back base hits against this guy. Wondering if he's feeling the struggle yet in relief.
He kissed that ball better than Casablanca.
Here's the monarch.
Right on the mouth.
Old Dominion. They call him Megatron. What a Megatron is, I don't know.
That has not been invented yet.
Folks, we've just received word. Carter Trice is out in the box. Tune in. Open your eyes, your ears. Tune that television, because he's squaring a bunt.
What's a television?
The television?
Line drive and a catch.
God,
this
no.
could be to Matt Donlin. He was caught in a hot pocket around third.
He was stuck in the middle.
Oh, that was like quicksand. He couldn't get his feet back up, couldn't have a rope. He gets doubled off. That's how the 5th inning ends. We'll go to the 6th on the Kettleers Network.
Top of the 6th inning on the Kettleers Network. Chris Carabina, Stephen Carey, and Peter Flaherty back on the mound.
A pleasure.
Actually, we're in the booth. I'm losing
I'm
my
not on the
marbles.
mound. If I was on the mound, the pinstriped Tets would be in trouble.
Logan Maitland back on the mound. He pitched fairly well, mowing down the competition. Now up against Brooks Lee, who you've been very fond of, a young whippersnapper out of California.
Old Brooks, he's an old surfer boy. He's from Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo.
I wonder if
He's
he
into the
can
box.
catch some waves here against the Kettleers to lead off the 6th.
His relatives founded the Gold Rush. He's a 49er.
Wonder if he'll find a nugget here against the Kettleers. So, let's go into a scoreboard update. Second pitch, half swing, and Ritter gobbles the ball up like a turkey, fires over to first. And there's the first out of the 6th inning. But let's turn it over to the scoreboard. We're beating the Red Stockings 7-5. The Hyannis Mets are beating the Bourne Braves 2-0 at McKeon Park. Yeah, that's a nice place, short porch and right field. Nice viewing pleasure for the fans.
Don't go out beyond the right field fence into those woods.
It's Owl's Eyes in the 2nd between Wareham and Falmouth. Orleans and Harwich also Owl's Eyes. And Brewster and Chatham has yet to start.
Yeah, those boys, they like to start late games. They have the lights. They have the luxury. They have the fan base.
What we have? A playoff spot.
A playoff berth, yes. Chatham and a lot of those other teams just have not cut it over the last couple of years. No offense to them.
I'm sure none taken. We're fighting for the pennant tooth and nail, year in and year out. A pirate from Dartmouth on the mound with a swaggering leg kick.
Well, it seems that we
And
got
a
an update.
mustache.
We got an update from you, Stefan, about this Wareham team. They're staying in his dorm.
The Wareham team, Logan Maitland, has a triple on campus. What that means, I'm not sure. I think he has 3 beds.
That ball was tomahawked foul.
Living large.
Of course, that's baseball, guys. When we hear triple, we mean extra bases.
When we hit triple, I say, who's rounding second? Turns out he's just got a lot of beds and a lot of gatemen filling them. 1-2 on the way.
And he's a tall, lanky fellow.
He's a tall glass of whiter. The ump called time. He said, hold on.
Come on, Larry.
Where are you going?
Larry, get it together.
Stop the cab for me. Let me get my train to work. Mr. Rosenblake holds up his hands.
He's putting
Makes
up
a 1 and a 2.
an index finger and 2 fingers on the right. I guess that means it's a 1-2 count from Larry. 1-2 pitch. Slider away.
I thought they were bunny's ears.
How fast do you think this guy is throwing? 66, 67?
Oh, if he's anything like the great Sammy Slinging Ball, he's chucking it. He's throwing it 84.
That's the fastest I've ever seen.
Oh,
Line drive. What a catch. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. I have seen no
Larry
better
Rosenberg.
dive than that, and I was in the 1940 Olympics.
Wow.
Where were those held? Moscow?
So nice.
Probably not Moscow.
So
2
nice.
outs.
So nice he did it twice.
Oh.
There's a changeup. Wow, how is this defense playing? Solid iron wall.
Speaking of walls, our right center field wall is as high as Dickens. It's about 8 feet.
So it's an 0-2 pitch to Luttrell.
Chase Luttrell is a dirtbag, but we're not talking about the human being. He goes to Long Beach State.
He's out west as well. So he already has a pair of single-roos, and he's trying to get a third one here. 1-2 pitch. Up and away. Maitland has very long hair. I don't know about that. I don't approve of that one bit. Needs to get into the military cut.
Yeah, we got to take him down to the barber shop. Have a nice clip.
Take him down to Frankie and hear the tone runs.
You use Frankie, I like Joey.
Oh!
Joey's manicured my hair very well for the last 7 years.
Pete, I've been asking you for years to join the Tone Runs. Are you going to be able to join our barbershop quartet?
The tone runs, I'd love to. Shooby-doo up, up.
He's a phenomenal tenor, too. We need a baritone.
Yeah, consider that your audition, and you are in.
Wow, you have star power.
The 2-2 to the dirtbag.
We sing all the Razzle classics.
Folks, for the record, Chase Luttrell is a fantastic human being. When we say dirtbag, we're referring to his mascot, as it's fouled off.
Is it true, Petey, that you can name every NCAA Division I mascot?
Try me, all 8 universities.
How about that newfangled Abilene Christian?
They're the Wildcats down there in Texas. Scratch 'em cats.
That's like 9 of the 8 different teams are all Wildcats.
Well, my favorite sport, and America's favorite sport, pole vaulting. That is the best sport in America.
How about that Jesse Owens?
He is a phenomenal track athlete. American hero.
Pop up as high as our wall out in right center field.
Can of corn for Trice, and he catches it in foul ground for the third out at the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom on the Kettleers Network. Oh my gosh, what was that?
What an adventure into 1947. That was a lot of fun. Now we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning with Ryan Ritter at the plate. It's buried in the dirt and blocked.
7-5, the Kettleers lead. That was a lot of fun with Peter Flaherty. Still more fun to come as we're in the 6th now. Great pitching from Logan Maitland, all jokes aside. And they'll say Ritter went around.
He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Ball hit him up near the shoulder.
High fly ball into center field. Knight moving back and making the catch just shy of the wall. Ritter gave it a ride, just not far enough. Now bringing up Eric Brown. So just trying to figure out what Yost has to offer. He's been fairly successful since he's come in relief. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Already given up 2 hits. Other than that, pretty smooth sailing from him. First pitch to EBJ, a slider in for a strike on the front door, 0-1.
Folks, we had to test out a little bit of fun with 2 games left to play. Back to business tomorrow and the next day.
That's if weather is permitting. But it is fun to test new things out, have a little bit of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well, with more to come. 1-1 to EBJ. Liner into center field. Coming on is Knight. He'll let that drop in. A base hit, first of the day for EBJ.
Do you mean to rhyme on that one?
You know, sometimes it works for me.
So the Kettleers have 10 hits. That makes the 4th time in the last 5 games that they have 10 or more hits. And this team is clicking offensively. Of course, the game started. They were down 5-0 in the top of the 1st inning after Hamilton Oliver. But since then have shut the door. Some great pitching. Logan Maitland once again dominant in relief.
I'll say Bridges went around there. So it's 0-1 for Bridges with a runner at first. 7-5 the Kettleers lead. The 0-1 pitch. Did he go around again? There will be no appeal. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bridges in this game has scored a run, reached on a fielder's choice play. Now 1-1. Grounded past the diving glove. Hoffman able to recover and throw to first for the 2nd out, but it does move Eric Brown over to second base. Now you have Brett Roberts coming to the plate. Now Brett Roberts up. 2 outs. The pitch. Slider off the plate, 1-0. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. One to Roberts. Slider nearly got away from Huff, but he recovers quickly to keep Eric Brown at second base. Kettleers lead 7-5 after going down 5-0. B. Rob's going to call time here. Y-D out of playoff contention, still playing for pride with 2 games left. Does have a winning record at 16, 13, and 7. Another good pitch on the outside corner. B-Rob didn't like it. 2-2 with 2 outs.
Yeah, it seems like if any pitch even grazes the corner of the plate, it's going to be a called strike. Larry Rosenberg, a pretty wide strike zone when it comes to the outside corner.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Yost gets his first strikeout of his outing. The Kettleers are down in the 7th, or in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th now on the Kettleers Digital Network.
And we're back.
We're back. What's up, Kettleers Baseball Network? Peter Flaherty alongside Matt Powell. Calling another baseball game today because it's a day that ends in Y.
Apparently we were a hit yesterday. I feel like the people liked us. We might have a different audience than we did last night because last night was only on the radio, but today we get to, as Maitland.
Oh, Maitland. Matey. He's from UMass Dartmouth.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. He's come in. He's made an immediate impact as a bullpen arm. I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but something like 12 1/3 innings pitched, only 1 earned allowed, and he stepped right in seamlessly into a setup stalemate out of the bullpen as the 0-2 is laced towards third base. Carter
nice
Trice.
Play.
Megatron.
Carter showing off the range right there. Nice play by Carter Trice.
Megatron.
What a nickname.
Don't know how he got it.
It's fitting, though.
It is fitting.
I mean, with he just made a beautiful play.
That was so Megatron of you. So Megatron of you, Carter. That's how he got his nickname, I think. As the 0-0 is swung on and missed. A nice slider from Logan Maitland.
Beautiful pitch. I love the way Maitland throws.
Love the way he throws. So long and loose. Normal vocabulary everybody uses.
Ball down.
Misses down and in. Long and loose is the name of the game. It's a long season, and you want to play loose.
And I think we're going to continue the season.
Oh, the season is continuing. The season is so long. The season is, but in a good way. The season is going to be so good because we're in the playoffs. The Kets,
are hot.
as Will Thompson has said, are a little. That means hot. The Kets are boiling right now as trainer Rachel, probably getting a bag of ice for somebody, scampers off of Elizabeth Lowell Field.
And Maitland throws the ball down.
And Maitland throws the ball down, too. So it's 3-1. Misses up and out. Flew open a little there, but that's okay. No harm done. YD puts a runner on first with 1 out.
Beautiful night. Little cloudy tonight. Not like Doran last night. We had a If you listened to the broadcast last night in the 8th and 9th, you heard a lot about Doran Park. We love Doran Park.
Folks, we love Doran. We love Upper Cape Tech. Go Rams, by the way. Spectacular.
They're hot, just like the Cats.
The Rams stay hot. When the Rams show up, they're hot. They don't have to do anything to get hot. Must be nice to be a Ram. Must be nice. Wish I went to high school at Upper Cape Tech. Swung on and popped up. That's it. Then the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, Suggs!
That Suggs.
Wow, what a play.
Makes a fantastic play.
The people of Lowell Park let him hear it with a nice round of applause. Wow, what a play by Matt Suggs. Not a conventional outfielder either.
Not a conventional
Catcher.
outfielder. He's a catcher by trade, outfielder by night, but that catch.
He has the arm to be an outfielder, too.
You're a bad man, Matthew. It's a great play. He does have the arm to be an outfielder.
Oh, Matthew, you have done it. He has done it. We got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning at Lowell Park, the best field on the Cape. Sorry, Doran. We were biased last night because we were there,
again.
but we're definitely very biased at Lowell Park.
This is the home domain as Logan Maitland checks on the runner at first. As Drew Bowser steps in, he's got a cool last name, Bowser.
I used to play as Bowser in Mario Kart.
I was going to say the same thing. Bowser, Donkey Kong.
They were cheat codes.
Toad. I like
Absolute
Toad.
cheat codes.
Baby Yoshi. No. Yoshi didn't have a baby. It was just Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
The babies weren't as good as the papas.
The babies weren't as good as the dads. There were just so many dads and so many men in Mario Kart. As the O to Bowser is taken up and in, buzzes the tower a little bit as Drew Bowser steps out of the box to
Maitland was about to throw a banana peel at him.
Was Maitland going to throw a banana peel at Bowser?
I think he was going to drop a banana peel.
Dude, kind of like that out of him. 1-0.
Throws him off track.
I was more of a red shell guy myself. As the runner goes, swung on by Bowser and driven into left field for a base hit. Runners go station to station as the Y-D Red Sox are showing a little life here in the top of the 7th. Showed a lot of life in the first. Haven't been much since. As a great job by the Cotuit bullpen as we want to keep everyone fresh for the playoffs. Speaking of fresh, the Cotuit Fresh Market right down the street.
Coach Mike Roberts heading to the mound, clapping his hands.
Good
for Logan Maitland. We might have a pitching change here.
That's Zach Fruity Pebbles Fruit who's going to come in.
I love Fruit.
I love Fruit and I love Zach. Well,
I think we're going to take a break here.
Take a break
for the pitching change.
Let's take a little break.
We'll be back in a second on the Kettleers online network.
Back
tonight.
in a jiff.
We're back on the Kettleers online network. The 7th inning, Zach Fruit enters the game with runners on first and second with 2 outs. The Kets are up 7-5, excuse me.
His name's Fruit, but he's in a little bit of a pickle.
Nice one, Peter. I like that.
I'm sure the chat loved it. Speaking of the chat, Miss Lions. It's the top of the 7th.
If you leave a comment in the chat, we will be sure to answer the question.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Like, comment, subscribe.
The Kets are hot. Keep her
Kets
going.
Are hot. Shout out for the donos.
Shout out my mom, my grandma, my dad, the whole fam, everyone.
Shout out my family who's definitely not listening, but shout out. Shout out to Ma, Pops, everybody.
Do you think Matty Ice is listening to the dugout? I don't think so.
Matty Ice? No, he doesn't strike. He might have a Walkman in. A Walkman. One
He
of those.
strikes me as a Walkman kind of kid.
He has the boom box hanging out of his backpack at school.
Nice, Matty.
Menace is Wyatt Hoffman, son of Trevor Hoffman, actually the great San Diego Padres closer, arguably the greatest closer of all time, besides Mariano Rivera.
As he takes strike one from Zach Fruit from Eastern Michigan. A late ad.
He's from East Lansing. He was a middle of the season ad who was talking to me today. He's done a great job, just like everybody on the roster. He was talking to me today how the first Domino's pizza was delivered at Eastern Michigan, as that one is swung on a miss for bringing count to 0-2 to old young Wyatt Hoffman. He's talking about how Domino's pizza was invented in Michigan.
I'm more of a Papa John's guy
I said,
myself.
why would you tell me that? And he said, I don't know. I like Papa John's too.
But when I'm up here?
When we're up here,
Pizza wave.
Pizza
wave at strike 3.
See ya.
Fruit gets out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th here at beautiful Lowell Park. We'll be back in a second. We're back, part 3, since we've taken 2 breaks so far, as Jarrett Godman,
he's
a right-handed pitcher from the University of Oklahoma Boomer Sooner.
And, you know, he's a Sooner, and they say he's a real diamond in the rough.
Really?
Real diamond in the rough, yeah, that's the word.
I don't think the Big 12 they don't have diamonds in the rough. Oh, but Oklahoma, 2025, joining the SEC.
Oh, my, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Pete?
It's ruffled a lot of feathers. You know what? I say bring on the Super Conference. Bring it on. It's going to be really weird seeing them play.
I don't like it one bit.
SEC teams, whoever's down in that conference these days. I don't even know.
I don't like it one bit.
I don't even know.
Especially after they smoked us in the bowl game this year.
Was a little ugly showing as Martorella steps in and takes a breaking ball from Godman down low.
Can we say that he's on God status? I don't know.
No, he's not on God status. I don't think anybody is.
He almost
as
hit
Martorella
Marty right there.
Yanks one inside as we have a bat boy again. He's masked up, folks. Mask up.
Our other bat boy is running around LP trying to find foul balls.
The other bat boy is playing ball boy tonight. He's going into the woods and mixing it up with the ticks and the critters.
As is every other kid at this field.
As is every other kid. Lowell Park, if you want to become immune to poison ivy, just tell your kid to go after foul balls at Lowell Park because they'll get it. They'll get it probably 10 times, and then they'll be good.
Yeah.
Be good. Get it out of the way.
I really don't think it's possible to become immune to poison ivy, but I feel like these kids in Cotuit can do it.
The Cotuit kids, as that one is laced into right field after a good diving attempt at first, as Martorella has his second hit of the night, and he's seeing the ball really well.
Brings up Matt Suggs.
Suggs.
From the University of North Carolina, Wilmington.
As we were just shown a fantastic graphic
made by the one
by
and only
our
Ryan
sideline
Gonzalez.
reporter Lauren Kirkley by way of Ryan Gonzalez. A great photo of our pitcher, Logan Maitland.
Check
Head
it
on
out
over to
on
our
all
Instagram.
socials.
Follow us. As Suggs lays down a beautiful bunt down the third base line. They're going to watch it trickle down the line as that is a foul ball.
Come on, Spark. I like that one. That was a great bunt. We should have left it.
That was a great bunt. The Lowell Park foul lines are a little interesting because usually you see it more on the middle of the dirt, but here if it's on the grass, it's fair. If it's off, it's foul. Simple as that, folks. That's as easy as pie.
Nice. I don't understand that reference, but nice.
Here's Suggs. He's hitting.
The pitch.
He's gonna square for a
squares
bunt.
around early.
As he gets
the bunt
this down this time as they crash in. Second base
first?
gotta
Who's
get
at
over.
first? Oh, he doesn't get rid of the baseball.
Nobody's home. The lights are on, but nobody's home. As the Kets have first and second with nobody out.
Uh-oh. Matt Donlin comes into the batter's box.
Donnie.
The UConn catcher.
Donnie.
He's been hot.
Donnie's been so hot.
The Kets are hot. Donlin's hot. Everyone's hot.
Donlin had a weird encounter in the middle of the night. All good. He was the host family's house. He was coming back home after getting a bite to eat. Had a weird encounter on the roads, and since then, he's been swinging the bat better than anybody. As he bunts, pulls it back for a strike. It looked a little outside, but
everyone's bunting now.
We're all bunting. We're all bunting. We're bunting like the bunting in right center on our high walls.
Hey, kids, you're growing up playing baseball. Make sure you learn how to bunt.
Kids, if you want to make it to be a Kettleer,
bunt.
Little secret, the industry secret, learn how to bunt. Just like the boys. As Donlin squares, can't get the butt down, and it goes to 0-2. It'll be interesting to see here if Coach Roberts will show bunt again. We'll want Donlin to show bunt again and risk it. Fouls it off. It's a strikeout. If he gets it down, who knows what could happen.
I got faith. He's going to get it down. If he gets the sign, he's going to get it down. Otherwise, he's squaring.
Donnie,
2
I have faith
strikes.
too. He's going to get it down. And he doesn't get it down.
He doesn't get it down.
That's okay.
It's all right because we got Jace Grady coming up.
Donlin will call that a strikeout. It's interesting. It's the only time you'll make contact and strike out. But here comes Jace Grady. And you want to talk about someone who's hot. It's this kid. He is so hot.
Is steaming.
He's so hot. And the Kets are hot. He's almost as hot as the Kets.
He's on the Kets, so
he's
he is
on
part
the
of
Kets.
the hotness.
Yeah, he's adding to the hotness.
First pitch from Godman.
Diamond
Fouled
in the rough.
Oh,
That's
that might
get
be a car. That's a car. Pete, you park very close. Can we talk about this for a second? You park extremely close to the field. You were asking to get your car drilled by a foul ball.
I'm asking for it.
Why?
I like to play with fire a little bit.
A
I
little
like to
too
live
close,
life
dude.
on the edge. That one probably got the old MDX.
Oh, man.
If you see a black MDX with a shattered windshield,
It's Pete.
fear not, just my car.
If you see, as ball down to Grady right there, but if you see a black MDX pull into the coop tomorrow morning to get a egg Sammy from
A
Connor
hash wish.
Breen, it is Peter Flaherty.
It is. And if you hear someone order at the stand, if you hear someone order a sausage with mustard and linguiça, that's probably our assistant GM, Glenn Wares.
Don't forget the onions. The onions.
Cannot forget the sautéed onions.
Oh, and then we got Matty Ice with the chicken
Matty
cutlet
Ice with
and
the-
honey mustard.
As
Oh,
that one is
Grady lines it
laced up the middle into center field. Coach Roberts is going to hold Martorella at third as the throw comes into home. And the Kettleers go station to station.
Probably a good thing he held him, right?
Good
Great
thing
throw
he held
from the
him.
center fielder.
Great throw from the center fielder. Would have been a really close play at the plate. May have not won on the Ket side as Carter Trice steps in.
And the bat boy gives the umpire 4 more baseballs.
The bat boy gives him balls to play with. We need those to play with.
We need baseballs. As
we
the
need the
game is called
baseballs.
baseballs.
We need the
'Cause you go to the
baseballs.
bases and you play with the ball.
We need baseballs to play. And Carter Trice steps in.
One out here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch from Godman.
As Godman comes set, the 0-0.
Taking for a ball in.
And a good pitch that
I don't think Sparky liked
missed
it.
in.
I didn't like it. It was up.
Sparky Rosenberg didn't like it.
Trice. Godman comes set. Trice choked up a bit on the bat.
Trice choked up, looking to shorten up here, put a ball in play, get a run across as that one is, must have gotten the top or the edge of the zone.
Sparky, come on, man.
As it is taken for a fastball, or the fastball is taken, it is now 1-1. Great game and great baseball. I couldn't agree more. We're just reading some comments here in the chat.
Peter Flaherty is my...
As Carter Trice turns on a fastball, sends it way high and way foul, but got his hands in on that inside pitch and drove it.
If it's fair, it's gone.
If that was fair, it was way gone. And
we got a Peter Flaherty is my hero from Brett Nevitt.
Oh, Brett Nevitt. Brett Nevitt's my hero. He's one of our fantastic writers along with Andrew Kynes. And he does a great job with Andrew Kynes writing the game stories and the quick hitters and getting sound bites from our players. As that ball is taken outside, it's 2-2 to Carter Trice.
Brett does everything. He
does
everything. He interviews Coach Roberts. He writes stories, writes quick hitters.
We were talking about it last night with the host families, this whole operation. It really takes all of us as Carter Trice grounds that to shortstop, bobbled a little bit by Brooks Lee on to Wyatt Hoffman, who gets the force at second. But a big run comes across by way of Carter Trice as Nathan Martorella crosses the dish. Becomes an 8-5 ball game.
Brings up Ryan Ritter.
And Ritter has been leading the charge. When Ritter turned the corner, as everybody was slumping, but everybody goes through slumps.
Ritter has increased the hitting streak to 11.
An 11-game hitting streak at any level, especially on the Cape in a 40-game season, is incredibly impressive. As Godman comes to the set, deals another slider low and out. He's gone to that slider a lot. He's been able to land it for strikes and backdoor it to righties. And that's been the best pitch we've seen from him.
Ran the fastball up to 94.
He's done a good job. As that one
Ritter
is inside and is dropping quick into center field, and it'll get down for Ryan Ritter's second hit of the game. Matt Suggs crosses the plate to increase the Kettleers' lead to 4. Is a 9-5 ball game.
When you're hot, you're hot. Everything falls. Everything looks like a beach ball to Ritter right now, and everything is falling.
When you're hot, you're hot, and Ryan Ritter is scorching. The ball's got to look like a beach ball or a volleyball or
any ball besides, and a baseball, because it is a baseball.
It is a baseball.
But it's a bigger baseball to him in his eyes right now.
It is.
Seeing the ball well as a first pitch to EBJ.
EBJ is laced into left field, and that's going to fall for a hit.
Trice.
Carter Trice rounds third. He'll score easily.
Brown goes to second.
Brown with a hustle double, standing up.
The Kets score again. That's 3 this inning.
That is 3 this inning. And they've doubled up the Y-D Red Sox. It is now 10-5. And after that rough first inning where the Y-D bats came alive and put up 5 runs on 6 hits, the Kettleers came. Oh, and there goes my brother. If you see a little figure dart across your screen, that's my brother.
What a guy.
But since the first inning, it was a wake-up call for the Kettleers. They've scored 10 unanswered runs as Noah Bridges steps in and swings at another quality pitch from Jared Godman. It is an 0-1 count to the outfielder from UNC Wilmington.
See what he does here. He's been hot too, dude.
It's really, if it sounds redundant.
1 through 9.
Everybody
is swinging the stick.
Everybody's been swinging it as he tries to lay down a bunt. Fouled it off into the plate, but a good idea by Noah Bridges. Catch the infielder's back with 2 outs. Utilize that speed of his and,
see what happens, I guess.
See what
right?
happens.
See
Why
what
not?
Happens. Make them make a play.
This is a good time for, in 2 games to close out the season for tune-ups for the playoffs, kind of mess around a little bit, see what works strategically and at the plate as that ball is taken on the outer third for a called strike 3 from Jarrett Godman.
We head to the 8th. Here at Lowell Park on Kettleers. I'll say it, on Kettleers Online Network.
Online Network.
Be back in a jiffy. We're back. 10 unanswered runs after YD puts up an early top 5 spot, in the top of the first as Zach Fruit heads back to the hill, up 5. We're up 5 in the runs column and in the hits column. We have 15, they have 10.
Look at that. Great observation by my broadcast partner.
Hits lead the runs.
Hits do lead to runs, and the Kettleers are pounding out hits, as they've been really the last 7 or so days, with the exception of last night in Bourne. Zach Fruit delivers the 0 to Tanner Smith, misses up and out. And, yeah, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, last night wasn't our night, but we'd like to give a huge shout-out to the Wareham Gatemen.
Shout-out to the Wareham Gatemen and GBN as the slider catches the inside corner for a called strike. Shout-out to the Gatemen.
They helped us out. They got it done against Falmouth, which all we needed to make it into the playoffs was us to win. We needed to win or Falmouth to lose. One of the last 3 games.
One of them, and they
got it done
quick.
in the first day.
We got it done quick.
We played them we played them Saturday, Sunday, beat them both.
Yeah, not a big deal. That's our bad.
And then Monday, they told us that if we won, or as the ball's driven out to right, or left, Matt Suggs camps under it for out number 1. And they told us, hey, if we win, we're in. If they lose, we're in.
And us and the Gatemen said, say less. And Cade Fergus, behind his 2-run home run and his diving catch in left center field,
helped
a lot.
Helped.
And that's why, folks, we've been able to have a little fun today on the broadcast.
That's why you get to listen to Peter and I.
Yeah, that really is.
I don't think that you would have been able to listen as Tim Crowley stares at me like, yeah, you're right.
Here's a question. If Cade Fergus didn't play tonight, would we be on the air? As Tim's mulling it. He says it depends.
Ground ball over to Martorella. He flips to Fruit for out number 2. We have 2 outs here in the 8th inning. I don't think Tim would have let us on the air.
Yeah, so
we have been informed if we're up 10 runs in any game, the minute we hit 10 runs, we become the broadcasters.
That's the figurative mercy rule here with the Cotuit Kettleers, because we don't want to take away from our fantastic broadcasters and the best in the Cape and Chris and Steph and Carey, but when it gets to the 10-run rule,
they bring in the B squad.
They bring in the B squad, and the call us the B squad is the call us the B squad is a compliment, because Tim, I put you on the A squad.
Yeah, Tim, you are the A squad.
Yeah.
No, Tim. It's Tim, Steph, and Chris.
Tim,
is the
Steph,
A squad.
Chris, and LK, Lauren Kirkley.
Kirkley's on every
Jack
squad.
Jack Roberts and Owen Zides on production. They're the A squad.
Kirkley's on every squad because she's the sideline reporter, so she has to.
That's true.
Unless we start something new and we bring in like Brett Nevitt for when we're up 10. Then we bring in Bilo, and then we have. Then we have a B squad.
B squad. Brett, who do we have for B interns? It's 2-1 with 2 outs. When folks, just to let you know, that pitch catches the outside corner from Fruit. It's 2-2. We're gonna just keep on going to the bottom of the 8th. We're not taking a break.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're not gonna stop talking. We'll answer some questions. So if you got a question, put it in the chat.
Yeah, if you got a question, ask
Otherwise,
us anything.
we're just gonna talk. Is that okay, TC?
We're gonna riff. We got the nod from TC. But B interns, this is a full count to the Yd Red Sox baseball player standing before us.
I don't think Leah knew what she was getting when she the first time she said that we could go on the broadcast.
Leah did not. Leah, this is either her best dream or worst nightmare, as that ball is taken inside.
I think
for
Donnie thought he had him.
Donnie thought he had him. That's okay, because we got faith in Fruit. So he's going to get this next guy, Chase Luttrell. And we have...
Brett Nevitt has just sent a text about coming on.
And we have a third mic.
Tim.
Tim is thinking.
This is on you. You're the big guy up here.
Tim, I don't know if we're on air or not, but please let him come on the broadcast. Please let him come on. He just wants to riff.
Oh,
all right.
Pete,
but speaking of, we're on the air. It's 1-0.
Zach
Luttrell is swung on and missed from Fruit. As Fruit's come up, and kind of the name of the game with the Kettleers lately has been these mid-season, late-season additions who have stepped into pretty predominant roles as that
ball is taken for call too.
As all these Kettleers have come in and stepped into predominant roles, whether it be Zach Fruit and Logan Maitland in the bullpen, as that one is swung on and fouled off right over our heads.
That's definitely your car.
Yeah, it's got to be the MDX. The MDX it's going to be a ball magnet. But we've been so fortunate to have these guys come and step up into big roles, and they're not easy shoes to come in and fill. And on such short notice as that one from Luttrell is
going to get out of play.
Going to get out of play down the left field
Lucky
line.
fan.
And there's a man.
Oh.
A man
what
has
a great
got the
fan.
baseball.
Hands it to the kid. You get an ovation from us up here, my guy.
We saw it. I don't know who else saw it, but we saw that, and we appreciate you.
Every kid should have a foul ball.
Every
I feel
kid
like if
should
you
have
come
a
to
foul ball.
Lowell Park, you should walk away with a foul ball.
And speaking of kids and foul balls, if they go on beyond the right field, as that one is the bat's broken as Carter Trice little bobble throws across the diamond to first. A little bit high as Martorella tries to get the tag down and is unsuccessful as
the runner advances to
Tanner
third base.
Smith scampers up to third.
On the play.
And that'll bring up
Zach Lou. Third baseman.
Lou, you're on the ball. They're on the ball.
Cal State Fullerton.
They have a lot of Cali guys.
They do. I think they like Cal State Fullerton, or just Cali guys in general. By the way, fun fact, my mom's maiden name is Fullerton.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
The joke is that my grandfather founded Cal State Fullerton. He obviously didn't. It's a joke.
Mr. Fullerton.
But he did.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be insane.
And shout out to Mr. Fullerton, Matt Powell's grandpa. He's a loyal listener of the broadcast.
Huge listener.
As that
ball gets away from Donlin.
Squirts away from Donlin, and does a good job keeping it in front.
Runner advances to second base. Run does not score, but runner advances to second base. But we still have 2 outs. 1-1 count.
We still have, yeah.
Zach's going to get out of this, and we're going to go hit in the bottom of the 8th.
All of that's going to happen. I'm not stressed one bit. Fruit's great. Donlin's great. Top to bottom on the roster, everybody is just so darn great.
Speaking of roster, a well put together roster from Peter Flaherty.
Thank you. As a team effort, as that one from Zach Lewis swung on and driven in the right field. Noah Bridges.
Camp's under it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave. We are not leaving.
Do not leave. We're staying.
We are staying on air. As Tim Crowley tells us that a high school teammate of his is about to take the mound for the YD Red Sox.
Nice. Congrats to Tim. Said he played on the same team as a Cape Leaguer. Congrats, Tim.
You were definitely the 1. He was the 2, right?
Yeah. You were the Friday guy, I heard.
Yes.
Yes,
yes,
that's a yes.
You were. He doesn't want to be that guy. He doesn't want to be that guy, but he is that guy.
You're that guy.
You are that guy, pal.
But speaking of the B squad, B intern names, we could do Brett.
Below.
Barnes. Bennett. That would be a trio on the mics.
I mean, if they want it, I don't know if they would
all.
Beast Squad. That's what they're called.
The
They're
Beast
the
Squad.
Beast Squad, not the B Squad. The Beast Squad.
The Beast Squad. We got a whole lot of beasts on the intern group, and
we have 28 beasts is what we have essentially.
Yep. And one of the beasts just chimed in the chat. Ryan Gonzalez.
Sideline reporter Brett.
Sideline reporter Brett. Hey, I don't know if it's a yellow light on Brett right now.
TC's recording. He didn't answer the text. Brett Nevitt, if you were listening to this broadcast right now,
Brett, if you're out there,
come up. Come join us. Oh, I don't know if he is though, because his guy is leading off.
Oh, yep. And his guy, folks, if you didn't know, Brett is a fantastic writer, not only for the Cotuit Kettleers, but also down at Florida State for the Florida State baseball team. Does some football writing, basketball writing. He does it all. And
his guy is up.
His guy, Brett Roberts, transferring into Florida State. He's leading off the inning. And Brett Nevitt locks in for every at-bat, just as B-Rob does. But when Roberts steps in, Nevitt locks in.
We are down at the media table. Whenever B-Rob is coming up,
you can find Brett with a camcorder.
Is going to be with his camcorder on the opposite side, taking a video of his at bat. He is every single time. He never misses an at bat. He's always locked in.
He never misses a B-Rob AB.
Let's see if we have from our view up here. Let's see if we can get Brett down there, or if he's going to miss his actual first. Oh, he's running.
Brett's
is running
sprinting. I think we
with
reminded
his
him.
camcorder. Wow. The dedication from Brett Nevitt right now.
Man, if that's not a metaphor for the last week of the Kettleers season, I don't know what is. Because it's hustle, it's grit, it's heart, and it's commitment.
As that first pitch is taken for a ball.
The first pitch is taken for a slider by Tim Crowley's friend, who's on the mound. We've had a good hair day on the mound. We had Logan Maitland, this whippersnapper, who yanks a fastball outside. It'll bring the count to 2-0.
So we have B-Rob, Martorella, and Suggs due up for the Kettleers here in the bottom of the eighth. This, unfortunately, fortunately for you listeners, this is the last half inning you have to listen to us as B-Rob swings through one.
Yeah, you'll get the fantastic voices of the village.
The actual broadcasters
The
coming back
actual broadcasters, Chris and Stefan, who have carried us throughout the year. And Mr. Menakis, that's Nathan Martorella's host dad who chimes into the chat. He's listening all the way from Portland, Oregon, and a shout out to his host son, Nathan Martorella, for the big 2 hits tonight. And
he is hot, Mr. Menakis. He is hot.
He's heating up, and it is reminiscent of 2019, as most of you listening at home and in the booth well know. Getting hot at the right time is the name of the game, as we won 6 straight in the playoffs. The 2-2 to Roberts is
popped up. The Bermuda Triangle. Second baseman takes it for out number 1. As Mr. Menakis, you'll be glad to know, Nathan Martorella steps in the batter's box here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out, looking to make it 3 hits tonight. If he's got 2, he might as well make it 3.
In looking at the weather forecast and what could be his last at-bat of the regular season to end the regular season, because we're winning the championship, to end the regular season with 3 knocks would be a great cherry on top to his already good regular season, as breaking ball is taken over the outer third for a strike.
Because everyone's batting average is resetting starting Friday night.
Everyone's batting average is reset.
As Marty does it.
He does it.
He does it. Oh, he's getting 2. Marty, the wheels. He's in there safely for a stand-up double.
And that is
Mr. Menakis, he has done it. He has increased to 3 hits tonight.
He's up to 3 hits, Mr. Menakis. and 2 doubles on the night, and he is seeing the ball really well. And who's not on this team with 16 hits tonight, 20 just a few nights ago, another dozen runs on the other night we beat Falmouth. We beat him so many times I lost track, but
we did beat him.
We beat him a lot.
We beat him Saturday and Sunday, both by a decent margin. As Suggs takes a ball up, breaking ball up.
Yep.
For ball 1. 1 out, 1-0, bottom 8. The last half inning, you have to listen to us. And I would say it's a beautiful night, but we have it's cloudy. It's cloudy.
It's a little cloudy. There are a lot of cumulus clouds here at Lowell Park.
That's a big word.
Cumulus. Cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds.
I was never able to distinguish between the two of them.
Cumulonimbus are
See, now you can't.
Now maybe I can't. You got me, pal.
That was like
Stratus.
As Lauren Kirkley chimes in with the stratus.
How do you know clouds?
Do you study clouds?
Okay,
I mean, it was 4th grade, but hey, that was a extremely long time ago.
A dig at my intellectual capacity.
Exactly, a dig at what our elementary schools.
A sour note to dig at the school systems.
I remember learning it. I just don't remember it. That's the thing. I know
I learned
it. Clouds.
Just how I learned how to count. Yeah, clouds are clouds, and they could be white, they could be gray, they could be.
Suggs checks his swing, but does not
colors.
go. We have 3-1 count. Yeah, I just call them all clouds. I don't think I'm ever going to be at the point where I'm like, oh, that's a cumulonimbus cloud. Is that? I don't even think I said that right.
Cumulonimbus.
That's a hard word. That's
twister.
A big word. Big word.
It is a huge word. As Suggs takes a huge swing.
That's going in the trees, and all those kids are going in the trees after it.
There is so much poison ivy to be had in those trees.
Everyone wants in on it.
Oh, my Lord. If I see a kid emerge from those woods, I say...
Get in the hot shower, kid.
I say, here's some... Yeah, just don't give the poison ivy to anybody else.
It's like the cheese touch.
It is like the cheese touch. Shout out...
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What a book.
Who wrote that? J.K. Rowling? No, that was...
that was Harry Potter.
She wrote Harry Potter.
Big difference.
Suggs takes a walk. I never read Harry Potter.
I couldn't, dude.
I read Captain Underpants and Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Many times. I've read them multiple times. I even had the Diary of a Wimpy Kid write your own book.
Did you
From
really?
the book fair. The Scholastic Book Fair was my favorite time of the year. I used to go in there. I would run in there with my friends after my mom, my lovely mother, would give me $20, and I would go buy a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, and then or Captain Underpants, and then she would get mad because it wasn't an actual book.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I would read it in a day, and then it would now it's just sitting in my room.
It's The Diary of the Wimpy Kid books are collecting dust now, but
they were fun while it lasted.
They were fun while they lasted. I'd love to read your write your own Diary of a Wimpy Kid book.
Me too. Maybe
read it on air.
When I get home, back home, I might have to lock in and read it.
That's got to be a real diamond in the rough.
It should be interesting as Donlin fouls one off.
As that ball is fouled off into those same woods with the Diary of a Wimpy Kids.
I think those kids are running down. The thing is, down the right field line, in those trees, there is a cliff. And every time kids run down there and don't even fall.
You just wanted me to look down the line to look at the scenes.
If everyone...
the scenes of the park.
A lot of people here.
A lot of people here at fantastic Elizabeth Lowell Field at Lowell Park.
As Lauren Kirkley takes a look at something, I'm not sure what she's looking at.
We might be in...
I don't know what she's looking at, but she's looking
stay
at
on
something.
air. But the scenes at Lowell Park are a sight as we look down the right
I'm
field
excited.
line. You see
I'm
the
excited for this
fences
weekend, Peter.
lined with. It's a great point. We have playoff baseball coming back to Lowell Park. The 0-2 misses outside to bring the count to 1-2, and
should be a blast. I feel like my first time playoff time at Lowell Park. I'm excited. Should be interesting. I feel like we're gonna have to set up our media table like 3 days before the game. Like, might even leave it up.
Leave the media table up.
People are gonna come and leave the chairs.
It'll be a sight like never before. We have a great crowd on hand here as Donlin drives it into center field.
No tag from Martorella.
And Martorella stays put.
A nice throw there from the center fielder, Brilly Knight. As Jace Grady in the top of the order come back up.
And yeah, Jace Grady is another guy who swung the bat well. I believe he has 3 hits. He has at least 2. I believe he has 3 hits on the day.
Can we get a check with our
Can we get
producers?
a check with our lovely producers?
And
it's not their job. They do. He has 3 hits. Thank you to Mr. Zides and Roberts.
They keep a book.
They keep a book. You should see the attention to detail here up in the booth as Jack Roberts plugged into his.
Oh, we have a carry coming back. That means we might be off soon.
We have a carry coming back. It means there's 2 outs.
There's
in the 8th.
another one coming.
Uh-oh.
We got the carries coming back. They want their seats back, but no.
Not
we
yet.
have another out to go.
We have 1 more out.
You guys stay back there. As Jace Grady, 1 strike, no balls, 2 outs, runners on first and second. The pitch. Ground ball to first, and the first baseman will take it himself. And that is going to be the end,
folks,
of the B Squad.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you to all 153 of you for tuning in to listen to Peter and I just talk for 3 innings. They give us 3 tonight. Thank you very much. Hopefully we go up 10 in the next couple of days and get to come back on air. Otherwise, you get to listen to the actual broadcasters.
Yeah.
Chris and Steph Carey.
Thank you.
Top of the 9th inning, 10-5 your score here at Lowell Park as the light continues to fade. Chris Carey and Stephen Carey after a few innings off. Will Jacobson on the mound and a first pitch strike at 94. In a new closing role, number 22 has found himself, starting with Cade Hunter and then Briley Knight, Crew Robinson. The 0-1 to Hunter, popped up. Figueroa moving back, and now coming on is Will Gale as the defensive substitution in left field. He'll handle his first opportunity well for the first out of the 9th. Before we go any further, would like to say kudos, congratulations, whatever you may call it, to Matt Powell and Peter Flaherty for the excellent job they did on play-by-play. I know they were lots of fun, but they actually did a really good job if you listen to it. Provided entertainment. I'm happy to hear it on the other side versus having to talk all the time and being in your headsets. Of course, love calling the games. Whenever you can give somebody else a chance to stretch their vocal cords a little bit, this can be fun at times. There's a line drive into left field, light over the head. That's the second hit of the game for Briley Knight. First one since the first inning. Gets one in the first and now one in the ninth against Will Jacobson. Jacobson looks just much more comfortable in this new role that he's been able to put himself in. And that's been kind of the moral of the story, Stefan. Pitchers that were not successful in a starting role have found new life as relievers. First pitch, low and away to Drew Bowser, the third baseman. Last time he came up, he had a single. Now the 1-0 pitch from Jacobson. There's a fastball in the outside corner, 94 again. Sneaky velocity, number 22 possesses in his repertoire. Nice fastball, can sling a slider and a curveball. Another fastball at 95 this time. Misses a few inches off. 2 balls and a strike. 10-5, your score. If Cotuit is able to win this game, Stefan, it would have yet another season at 500 or more. There's a nice fastball, forces a swing and miss from Bowser.
Well, of course, in 2019, they ended up at 20-20-4. They're on pace to be a right at 500 team. If they can come out with a win today, be well on their way to being above 500, but you'd hope that they continue to close it out a little bit more.
3-2 pitch coming to Bowser. Here it is. Runner goes. It won't matter. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base is not in time. Jacobson picks up his first strikeout of the outing. 2 are down and a runner in scoring position in Briley Knight. Steals second base, but all Jacobson needs is 1 more out against Wyatt Hoffman.
How about Will Jacobson in the closing role? He's just so comfortable here. Low risk for him. Just comes out, does his job, gets 3 outs.
Oh, 1 to Wyatt Hoffman. And a breaking ball and a beauty for a strike. Jacobson in the driver's seat at 10-5. Cotuit looking to pick up their 18th win of the season. And the Lowell Park faithful is behind the Harvard product. The 0-2 pitch. Spoiled foul. Oh, 2 pitch. We'll see another. You hear Jason down there, his host dad, really telling him to rev it up and close the door. Oh, 2 again. Up and in. Brushes him off at 95. That's some chin music. One, 2 from Jacobson. Low and away. So the count is even for Hoffman. He's reached base 3 times, but also has a strikeout. Ladder here would be wonderful for Will Jacobson. 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. Or 2-2, I should say. Got ahead of myself. Feels like an 0-2 situation. Will Jacobson commanding the zone in the 9th. You hear the claps. It's building. 2-2 pitch. Now it's 3-2. Hoffman threw the bat away. That's the second time he's done that this game. got a little ahead of himself. Good opportunity for the baseball gods to bless Will Jacobson and the Kettleers here with a little bit of comeback, karma, if you will. Will it happen? The payoff pitch. Great at-bat here from Hoffman, resemblant of his first at-bat in the first inning. Worked a 3-2 count, fouled a few away. Then hit one in the bloop spot in right field, hugging the line. Has not gotten a hit since then. Product of the University of the Pacific. Payoff once more. Popped up foul. And this is a battle, mano a mano, two California products. Will Jacobson, obviously at Harvard, a California native up against Hoffman, University of the Pacific. Couldn't be farther apart in terms of university and schools. Payoff again, 3-2. High drive into center field. Breaking back and now forward is Jace Grady for the third out and final of the game. Mark it down. It's win number 18 for Cotuit and another victory in the Village. Cotuit wins 10-5 over Y-D. They're 2-0 against them this season. And a big 10-run unanswered comeback for the Kettleers as they have one. As they have one more game left to play until the 2021 CCBL playoffs. Will be at Red Wilson Field, weather permitting, on the Kettleers Radio Network. But until then, enjoy this Kettleers win at Lowell Park. They put it together, and they're putting it together at the right times. They're getting hot. Chris Carey, Stephen Carey, Owen Zides, Jack Roberts, Tim Crowley, and Lauren Kirkley. Wishing you a very wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow at Red Wilson Field.